A night in with MauLer and the drinker, getting trashed with the web screen dictors. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Hop up the cork, have a glass of wine, Posh fiancé, I'll be fine. Trouble walking in a straight line, but pour me a Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, MauLer and the critical drinker.
Well, MauLer, that sounds like our cue. Are you ready?
I was gonna say, I recognize that intro. Are we live? Is this a stream?
We're doing a thing, yeah. I've been told we do this once a week.
Oh my god!
Bar that's open, I think.
I woke up from a coma that I got into in 2015. How are my favorite franchises doing?
They're strong as ever.
Dude, I'm so sorry. Like, wait, what? What's going on?
Just don't ask too many questions, and you'll be fine.
Just show me a montage, and I just die.
Well, I do think if you were given that news all at the same time, it would probably finish you off. Like that's too much for a man to bear.
Let's be honest. If we were both in that situation, we wouldn't believe what we were told. We wouldn't even get through one IP before we'd be like, no, nah, don't believe that. Nope. Nah, yeah. That didn't happen.
It's like they did what to Terminator? Like they retconned it twice.
It's like wait till you hear about Star Wars and you go Star Trek and you go no, well, like you know,
Doctor Who. I mean, that's been going for 60 years. That must still be going strong. Not so much.
You know, I saw a meme where it's like two guys go back in time and they go, "Oh, I know how we can tell." You know, it's like, "Hey, who's Doctor Who right now?" And the guy goes, "David Tennant." And the guy goes, "I have no idea what year it is."
Yeah.
It could be any.
Well, we are welcome everybody to Open Bar number 183. We've got a lovely bar assembled for you this evening, and as is the tradition, because we've only got a few more of these to go, shall we give you some pointless facts before we bring in our guests?
Yes.
All right, stuff that happened in 1983. Critical Drinker was born. That's it. That was pretty much the most important thing of the year, so I'm just going to stop there.
All other events weren't allowed to happen because of that, right? It was like, sorry guys, you have to move to next year.
Well, they kind of just stopped the world, and like nobody really attempted anything after that because they were like, you know what, this guy's got a monopoly on events for the year. Like, I'll wait until next year, and then I'll try and achieve something because then the history books will record it. Otherwise, it's going to get overshadowed. So
makes sense.
It was nice of them to do that. But no, on a slightly more serious note, stuff that happened in this year: the invasion of Grenada. The US launched Operation Urgent Fury, invading Grenada following a violent coup. The nuclear scare, which to this day is one of the most awesome stories to ever come out of the Cold War. So Soviet officer Stanislav Petrov received a warning from his computer system in a bunker somewhere in Russia that the entire USSR was under attack by America and that nuclear war was imminent, and he only had a matter of minutes to decide what to do, whether to launch an immediate counterstrike or whether to do nothing. And he took a bit of a gamble and realized, yeah, this feels like a computer glitch. This really doesn't feel like a real deal. Fortunately, his instincts were correct and nuclear war was averted. But yeah, we came very, very close. Basically, one man pushing a button could have started the entire World War III. So
what was the world worth saving, Drinker? Look at it now.
I mean, I think he should have pressed the button, to be honest.
I think he was about to press it, and then they said, wait, Critical Drinker was born. He's like, oh. We're all good. It's okay.
He's like, but on the other hand, Star Wars. Like, oh. Other stuff that was going on that year, the first shuttle spacewalk. Astronauts Peterson and Musgrave performed the first ever spacewalk as part of the space shuttle program. Also, GPS was authorized for civilian use for the first time. Before that, it had just been for aircraft, that sort of thing. But President Reagan, Christ, this is really going back, announced that the GPS global positioning system would be made available for civilian use. And in that, the seeds of our destruction were sown because nobody can read a fucking map anymore. They just bring up Google Maps and just that's it. Also, CDs were released for the first time, 1983. Philips and Sony introduced CDs, which is kind of neat. They're still they're still around. Sort of.
I get CD, I guess. Yeah, people still, because physical, it's just like for some reason our generation is hyper obsessed with vinyls, right? as well.
They're having a moment. I don't know how long that's going to last, but yeah, it's like the kind of wanky, pretentious thing to get vinyl and, you know, pretend that you like it. I don't know.
Music more than any other media feels like it's almost like it's just scratching at trying to remain in any way physical. It's like, please don't relegate me only to digital. And it's like, I'm sorry,
I could still be physical. In the world of entertainment, the finale of MASH, the TV show, it was the most watched television event up until that time, which was pretty damn impressive. It's actually an incredible episode, very, very dark in places. Good stuff. Well, very fitting finale to it.
The Blackadder's final episode, well, at the time, episode was also like suitably dark, whatever. You start to wonder, is that just the sort of convention for any show that's coming to its end? You try to end on a bittersweet, sort of poignant note. Then you think about shows like, do you think Teletubbies would do that?
I think, you know, the thing those two have in common, like they are both comedies, black comedies at times that center around war. And I think maybe there has to be that reckoning with like, yeah, you can make light of it and stuff, but when you get right down to it, war is a fucking horrific thing, and let's not laugh too much, you know. And so both of them ended on pretty poignant notes. So I think that made sense. It's the right.
Oh yeah, because like the whole format is like, this is miserable. Let's make some fun out of it. Yeah. And then at the end, it's like, but it was really miserable. But at the same time, you know, a lot of shows I think tend to do that because it just hits harder, right? It makes you think about the whole thing.
Even well, yeah, I mean, when you juxtapose a moment of like sheer tragedy and pathos into a comedy like that's been fairly lighthearted or whatever up until that point, it does hit like a ton of bricks, and you almost don't know how to process it.
We should do something for Blackadder and Faulty Towers at some point. I don't know what.
I'd love to. I would love to. Yeah. In the world of music, actually, Thriller dominated the charts, basically changed music videos forever. Michael Jackson's Thriller seems very appropriate since Michael is actually doing really well at the cinema as well. And yeah, biggest movies of the year, you know which one it is. It's Return of the Jedi. Made $252 million domestically, which is not bad.
That Star Wars thing never caught on. I looked into it, and it's just some kind of streaming show now. I guess that's what it ends up.
You know what's sad, but also good in a way? George Lucas never made any more Star Wars movies after Return of the Jedi.
Not a single one.
He peaked, and he knew when to stop, and you got to respect it. So
crazy.
I do.
Did we talk about the Nielsen shit with the fact that nobody's watching the sequels?
Oh, we'll get to that. Don't you worry.
Oh, right. Okay,
we'll get to that. Interestingly, the next biggest movie of the year was Terms of Endearment. That brought in 108 million, so you can see the disparity there. Flashdance and Trading Places were at 3 and 4. War Games seems very appropriate considering what Stanislav was going through. Yeah, another nuclear war themed movie. And Bond was still going strong. Is that the word? Octopussy came in with 67 million. This was getting right at the end of Roger Moore's tenure.
Stronger than it is now.
Yeah, he had one more in him. But
that Bond game is apparently going to be 20 hours long.
Right.
I was just like, shit, okay. That's I hope they can make it fun for the 20 hours. It's something to do with like people think that there's like this huge push to make all games as long as possible these days.
Right.
Because of, I don't know, other games and stuff. But like, yeah, I don't know. Are you excited?
I was when I saw the very first trailer, and then after that, the excitement's been waning somewhat.
So we shall see, eh? Let's hope the best.
Anyway, shall we bring our panel in?
I think we should.
We've got some people, so let's assemble the bar. Welcome everyone to DDayCobra, Chris Gore, and Despot of Antrim. It's good to have you gentlemen back again. Sorry we kept you waiting.
No, we're good. But prequel hate will not be tolerated. Okay? We will stand with the prequels here. Don't worry.
Why can't we both hate and love them?
I actually do. I actually hate and love them, but I love Revenge of the Sith.
It's like Gollum. We hate and love the prequels as we hate and love ourselves. There seems to be so much discourse going on X at the moment about Red Letter Media and like the impact they've had on like Star Wars as a brand. Like a lot of people are simultaneously defending and attacking them, saying like this is what happens when you let a bunch of old bitter Trekkies like dictate the course of Star Wars, and it's like, I think you're being a bit harsh there, man.
Well, it's someone who's inspired by a lot of their work. I would say, like, you know, tracked them since all that happened. And I remember those videos coming out, and it did change my mind somewhat on the prequels a little bit. But like they They're kind of like a DNA origin. How would I put this? They're like grandfathered into everyone saying they made awesome videos because they were so early. They're like some of the longest and more detailed breakdowns. Now it's a dime a dozen on YouTube. You can find everybody doing them, and that I don't mean that critically. I mean, like, yeah, everyone's making awesome stuff all over the place. But if you guys know, it's like split across political lines, extremist lines, or fucking pro Marvel, anti Marvel, pro Disney, anti. You know, like everyone's got like I don't like that guy, fuck it. But everyone seems to have said like, no, the Plinkett, you know, back in the day is fucking awesome. Yeah, everyone likes that sort of stuff. So you combine that with the horrible recommendations for what Star Wars should do and become that have actually happened. You know, like it's
well, they were the ones who talked about J.J. Abrams directing famously.
It's almost worse than that. It's like if you look at the actual context, they explicitly say like JJ has a good handle on emotion. He knows how to direct like an action set piece. He's perfect for Star Wars, and they should have had him directing the prequels while George Lucas should have directed people to their seats. Like that's a quote from him. Yeah, and it's like they got what they wanted, and you can tell even from them they're worse on Star Wars now than they would have been with the prequels in the sense that they are apathetic. They don't care.
Yeah, I think they've completely lost interest. You know, even like the final Plinkett video that they did on, I don't know, fucking Force Awakens or whatever it was. You could tell their heart wasn't really in it, and there was no real like energy behind it. It was just kind of sad. But I will say, like their videos, their early Plinkett ones are immensely watchable. Like there's some decent insights, and they're funny and they're entertaining. And yeah, like they were a cut above anything that was going on YouTube at the time.
Well, and I think there's a clash there, right? It's like, yeah, those videos were awesome and cool and blah, blah, blah. But then it's also like, but that prediction, that recommendation that actually came true, and look at Star Wars now is like, well, that was awful. And there's like a question of, so what was the legacy of those videos as it stands? It's like, well, you know, they changed the conversation a little bit. I'm not going to say they're the reason people hate the prequels. That's crazy. And I don't even think they would argue that, Red Letter Media. But you know.
I don't think you can logically, because I think that sentiment was floating around quite a bit by that point. It was just they articulated it on a bigger platform than anyone else. It was probably on Reddit threads and whatever else was going on at the time.
I actually have a point to make about the prequels, but we'll do it a little later because it'll connect to a thing we're going to talk about later on in the show. So we'll just put a pin in that for my point that I'm going to make.
No, make a mental note to talk about it. I will say, because we've got Chris Gore here, and he's on a timer because he has to leave relatively soon.
He's a big deal. He's a big deal.
So we need to use him, gentlemen. We need to use him hard. So, and we've got Chris Gore, not Frank Gore this time.
I'm nearly sober this time. So thanks for having me back.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you here. But I was going to ask you, you have seen the first 25 minutes of Mango and Grok, the movie.
Yeah, well,
we'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I saw it twice. I saw at CinemaCon, they screened 18 minutes, which is, that's impressive. You don't normally show that much of a movie, usually just...
Unless you're desperate.
Correct.
Yeah.
On May the 4th, in a deal where they... tickets were free, by the way, at IMAX screens across the country. Anyone could get tickets. This was not a press event. So on May the 4th, corporate Star Wars Day, they screened the first 25 minutes of the movie to the biggest fans who were able to get those tickets. And I saw the 18 minutes. I saw 7 minutes beyond. And let me just say, whatever your favorite Mandalorian episode is, this is not as good as that. It's pretty weak. It's an episode with a slightly larger budget, but it still looks lit for TV. I'm sure you read the descriptions. You know, it's a mission where Mando starts out kind of like almost like the Dark Knight in the shadows, taking out Imperial snowtroopers to go after one of the evil Imperial henchmen. Warlords in this deck of cards, and he takes him out in this whole, cat and mouse game on, AT-ATs. What was surprising was this: we're seeing it with fans on May the 4th, and you would think when Mando comes out, there'd be big applause. Nothing. Grogu comes out. Nothing. No reaction. The thing that got the biggest reaction was Zeb and I don't even know who the fuck that is.
From Rebels.
Yeah, so Zeb
from Rebels.
got a big reaction. They complete the mission, go off to whatever, meet with Sigourney Weaver, and she tells him he's going to go after all these other people, including Rada the Hutt.
Jeez.
And she gives him a brand new Razor Crest. It's brand new old stock, as they say.
But it looks visually identical to the old one, which is convenient.
It's just another one. Who cares? They go off on this mission to find Rada the Hutt, and they give some money to Martin Scorsese's 4-armed monkey character that runs a little cafe. You probably saw that in the trailer. And in one of the dumbest, this is how I know Dave Filoni was one of the writers on this. This is written for children. This is for kids. And I don't mean like, look, Star Wars was for kids and adults and people of all ages. This is clearly for children. So his character, Martin Scorsese's character, Mando asks him, we're trying to find Rada the Hutt. He says, oh, he's right there. Points across the street where there's a billboard with Rada the Hutt's picture, because he's in a Coliseum doing like MMA fights. It's very stupid. So then Mando goes and to confront Rada the Hutt. Cut there. That's the first 25 minutes of what's a 2-hour and 12-minute movie that I'll see a week from today, actually. I don't know why they're screening it so soon. I don't know what makes them think this is going to be a hit. It is a distillation of the TV show with perhaps bigger looking budget, but it's so lit for TV. I don't know why they're bothering with IMAX, and it's unimpressive. I mean, already the estimates you've heard are below Solo. And it's clear to me they don't know what they're doing. I get the sense there are different factions at Lucasfilm. Well, some people want to do this. Some people want Mando movie. Other people want Ahsoka, whatever. It just seems like they don't know what they're doing with this property. And Grogu, I think the thing that was most telling was the non-reaction from people, like a packed. And I saw it at the Universal AMC City Walk. That is the biggest IMAX screen in LA. And it was a very lukewarm reaction. And people walked out. Everyone got free posters. And they were like, I talked to a super fan who I run into at screenings. And he said, yeah, it's kind of lame. And he pointed out a specific reason it looked lame. Because of the titles. The titles are like a TV show. So, in a TV show, you see like, starring Pedro Pascal, starring this actor, starring Sigourney Weaver. The title sequence of the movie opens with a paragraph about the warlords and the state of the galaxy. But then it just is like a regular TV episode. Nothing special about the titles. I mean, I think we all remember when you saw the titles for the original Star Wars or the titles for Superman, the motion picture, right? They were amazing. They got you pumped to see the movie. These are lame ass TV titles, like any episode of The Mandalorian, like really unimpressive. Nothing we haven't seen before. And the fact that it got no reaction from this crowd on May the 4th, who got to see it for free before everyone else. And look, I wasn't invited as press. I registered on the Fandango website. I got tickets like everyone else. I thought, I'm not going to go. I've already seen it. I thought, I want to see how people react, because CinemaCon is not a good gauge. They for sure flew people in to overreact to things, including the Doomsday trailer, which I saw. We can talk about that if you want. But I expect they'll never say it bombed. They'll say it underperformed, but it doesn't look good. And also, by the way, tickets are plentiful. I'm sure you've looked. I'm sure Jeremy, you already have tickets.
I do not for this because I don't need to buy them in advance. I will be watching this. It'll be the first Star Wars thing I've seen in a long time outside. I did watch The Acolyte because couldn't pass up on that grift. But outside of that, I haven't really seen anything Star Wars in a long time. But no, I haven't got my tickets yet. And I don't think I need to worry about it. I pointed out, and I know we're going to talk about the Odyssey later, and this is not about the Odyssey, but it's a point that 12 hours into the trailer releasing for the Odyssey, it had more views on it than the Mandalorian trailer that dropped 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh.
And that should tell you everything you need to know about the state of Star Wars. The Mandalorian trailer, if 2 weeks, has 4 million views. That is where Star Wars is at right now. It's that irrelevant and nobody cares.
So it gets the same views as a drinker video. That's
pretty much
kind of crazy.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, that's I guess where we're at. So people in chat were asking as well about mango and grok. That just came from a super chat once that MauLer and I got when we were doing last orders, and I think someone's autocorrect must have been playing up, and it was like the question was like, "Are you excited for the mango and grok movie?" And for some reason, it just tickled us.
I feel like everyone needs to put that in their videos when it comes out at some point.
It's for sure going in my review.
There's just a profound lack of enthusiasm, which I would even ascribe to Marvel as well. You know, having been at CinemaCon and seeing the Doomsday trailer, and it was weird. I was sitting next to a group of people I hadn't seen before who were like trained SEALs, clapping and overreacting to everything at that Marvel presentation. And
like plants, basically.
Yes. I mean, I'm not the only one that mentioned it. You know, it seems like, and this isn't illegal. It's kind of like ballot harvesting. One of the parties here that keeps winning, and it's really bizarre, seems to engage in acts. D-Day, you probably know more about
Chris,
that.
No, I'm very uncomfortable talking politics, so let's just move on. It's not really my cup of tea.
It's not your thing, I know.
Yeah.
It's really too divisive of a topic for me.
I'm just saying it's not illegal, but because anyone
it's manipulative. It's manipulative.
Yeah. Anyone can buy a ticket to CinemaCon. You don't need to be. You can go as press if you want to jump through those hoops, or buy a ticket. It's like Comic-Con, so anyone can go, and I guess that's fine to do, but I didn't sense any enthusiasm. And then Supergirl, I mean, I feel that movie's DOA based on what I saw.
I think we all know it is.
Well, it is interesting that we're talking about something like Supergirl. We're talking about something like Star Wars, but then something like Project Hail Mary has been crushing it because of word of mouth, you know? And we're seeing a lot of that. Like I just saw the Hollywood Reporter drop their Mortal Kombat 2 review, and they said it's strictly for the fans. And you could feel the hate when they said that. Now, I haven't seen MK2. I'm going to see it tonight, but it does seem like there's a clear divide right now, that there's things that are coming out that fans are loving and that the corporate media hates. And
look at Michael.
Yes, I've seen it multiple times, and it is one of the best theater experiences I've had. It's amazing. I love that movie so much. And so it's a weird dynamic right now. And Star Wars feels like the perfect corporate media movie right now. The Mandalorian movie feels like a corporate media movie, and that the fans are going to reject it. It's the complete opposite of Project Hail Mary. It's the complete opposite of Michael. And so that's going to be an interesting dynamic as we move further into the year.
The Mandalorian feels like the very definition of meh. Like every aspect of it is boring as fuck. Like every trailer, every Super Bowl commercial, every screenshot they've released of it is boring. And Chris, you compared it to like Avengers Doomsday, but I think the difference there is Avengers Doomsday has characters in it, theoretically at least. Characters that have personalities and that we remember and we recognize. They were once upon a time interesting and we supported them. So it's got that. The Mandalorian and Grogu has nothing. Like, it's got a character with no personality. He is the definition of a blank slate. He doesn't even have a face most of the time, so that you can just, I don't know, he's like an avatar for the audience. And you've got a little fucking green baby thing that can't talk. So that's not really a character either. What is in this movie to even get excited about? It's slop.
Have you heard
generic, boring slop?
Have you heard Ryan Kendall's theory as to what they're going to do in this movie?
Let's hear it.
Ryan Kendall's theory who is the most knowledgeable Star Wars fan there is, we know, he has theorized, it's just a theory, he's not making a prediction, that they're going to CG Han, Luke, and Leia in this movie to get that social media reaction, to get people talking. That's just a theory of his. And when he first said it, I was just like, this doesn't. And then the more he was like, they need something to get people talking. What else do they have other than that?
It's so disgusting and retarded. It's probably true.
Exactly.
What context did he sort of suggest for that? Or was he just saying in general?
Yeah, I think he was saying in general, because he was saying this off the cuff on Geeks and Gamers Daily one morning. And the more that he was just basically talking about, because Lucasfilm and a lot of these Hollywood types now, what are they so caught up in? Moments. We need moments. We need moments to get people talking. Context is irrelevant. The depth of the moment is irrelevant. They just want to get social media reactions. I think it will be a huge mistake if they do this, to the point where I'm kind of hoping they do, because I want it to just backfire on them. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. And again, I want to be clear. He's not saying he has any inside information or anything like that. It's just a theory that he put out there from a desperation standpoint, that to follow up from Drinker's point, what do they have in this movie to get people talking? Nothing.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's going to happen. It's the biggest criticism of the sequel trilogy is they did not reunite Han, Luke, and Leia, which is what everyone wanted. It's such a simple thing. That simple thing J.J. Abrams, what a moron for not realizing how important that was, that we want to really see the trio reunited in some way. But now you've got, Leia and Han get space divorced. You've got Luke a hermit. It was depressing. Was it leading to anything? Obviously not. We've seen all 3 films.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So even to reunite them here is kind of bittersweet, because you should have done that in the sequels, not this. And when we know their fate, they kill one off. They kill one legacy character off every movie. It's stupid. It's how to kill a franchise. What a bungling of that entire thing. Books are going to be written about this, I think.
And this could be the culmination of that, because this is the first movie that's released, because we've talked about this a lot. They can cover up and they can pretend that the ratings were good for all of these other projects that they've released because it's on their own streaming service. This is the first movie since The Rise of Skywalker that has been released in theaters, and the tracking right now, the last predictions I heard was it was tracking behind Solo, which again, Solo lost money. We all know that.
Yeah.
And so it's tracking behind Solo. I believe Solo final box office number was $393 million at the box office worldwide. Mandalorian, if it is lower than that, and I think that there's a good chance it can be, Disney will have a complete PR nightmare on their hands. They can try to spin it, but it is going to be awful for them.
Well, it's not just that. The data, the Nielsen ratings back this up, right? This was just released the other day. This is what people are watching on May 4th, right? The most popular Disney things. Andor is at number 1. A New Hope, number 2. Phantom Menace, number 3. That's bizarre, but okay. Empire is at 4.
Hail the prequels.
Revenge of the Sith at 5, yeah. Attack of the Clones at 6. Then Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, Tales of the Underworld, and The Clone Wars, right? None of the sequel trilogy.
None of the sequel trilogy even on this. That is wild. Well, it is, but it isn't, because, of course, it sucks.
We know.
It's worth mentioning as well, Andor and Tales of the Underworld were both newer releases at this point, so they're bumped up on this list where they wouldn't be normally.
Oh, yeah, this is 2025.
This is 2025. So the context there is that Andor was that when it was in its release?
I think that was during season 2.
Yeah, that was during. I think that was during the season.
Yeah. So I'll take Andor off there because, like you say, it was a new release. But all of the others are just kind of generic. They've been around for years, if not decades, in most cases, and that shouldn't have changed much. But none of the sequel trilogy is even close.
Nope.
It's
And you could even probably say that the only reason that Rogue One is in that moment was probably because of Andor. It was being elevated because of Andor in that moment.
A lot of people watched it.
It is a decent movie, though. Like, there's a lot of love for Rogue One. I don't think it's great, but it's very watchable, and it's easy. It's definitely the best Disney Star Wars movie, like without question. It's the only one that's even decent. Some people say Solo. Some people would say, "Oh man, Solo's aged well." Solo is fucking awful.
I only saw it once.
I've seen it one time. Yeah,
I was curious about it. I was curious, and I thought, how bad was Solo, or maybe it's slept on, because I saw it once and kind of forgot about it. And I went back and I did a video on it. And if you're not convinced, just watch my video, or you can watch MauLer's video. He did a really good video when it came out. And it's terrible. It's so bad. It's filled with plot holes. It really destroys Lando Calrissian, but it even destroys Han Solo. Like, he has no edge. It was really bad. He's pussified. Yeah. He's cockified. He's turned into a simp. Han Solo is turned into a fucking simp. Like, what the fuck? That's the furthest thing from a simp you could think of. Like, Han Solo. Just dreadful. Awful. I still remember hate that movie.
Trying to track the third act where everyone betrays each other. It was fucking nonsense. It
doesn't even make any sense. Like, everyone is the main bad guy. I can't remember his name. Played by that actor.
The Vision.
Yeah, he's out of character because he's no longer ruthless. Suddenly he's the galaxy's most gullible retard.
Yeah.
The third act is a complete mess. There's all these twists and turns of trying to be clever.
You mean the third act where they have a battle in the office of the main bad guy?
Yeah, and he's got like two security guards, and he brought like a Wookiee, and he knows that Emilia Clarke's a badass and might betray him, and then he's also got Han and that other guy in there, and he's got like 2 or 3 bodyguards. Yeah, he's got 2 bodyguards, and what's his name just shoots them both in like a second. Yeah. It's just, and this is supposed to be like a galactic warlord. This utter moron.
Well, at least they set up Darth Maul.
Oh yeah. No. They set up half of Darth Maul.
I've talked about this many times. I think Solo is the most important flop in recent memory, and I say that because, in my opinion, not saying I have any knowledge on this, I think that was their introduction to revamp the original trilogy. Because if they could have redone Han Solo and into the Disney version, or replaced Alden Ehrenreich as the face of Han Solo, so let's say this hypothetically, this movie does $800-900 million, huge success. That was their jumping off point to reinvent the original trilogy, reinvent Han and Leia into their own Disney way, and have the Disney version of Han, Luke, and Leia at the Disney parks all over the merchandise, because they clearly hate the idea of George's creation being the face of it. And luckily that failed, and it threw all of their plans out of whack. Because think about it.
Not only that, there was a plan to do a Han Solo trilogy. If you look back at what they were saying back in the day, and it's weird because
Chris, hold on, you're telling me that Lucasfilm announced a trilogy that didn't happen? I find that to be so hard to believe.
I don't buy that.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
Jeremy's 100% right.
List, and they forgot Josh Trank was developing a Boba Fett movie.
Yeah,
it was canceled at the 2015 Star Wars celebration. By the way, a lot of people forget these, but the prequels, I know people want to bag on the prequels. The best lightsaber duels of all the Star Wars films are in the prequels. Yes, I'm sorry, objectively speaking.
Yes.
So, and unfortunately, I got to run, drinker. I got to go. So,
no, we understand. You got some drinks.
Yeah, sorry about that. But I'll see the movie next week. I'm seeing it.
When can you talk about it after you see it?
I mean, the next day.
Okay.
I don't know. So,
like, you're not under embargo or anything?
I don't know. I think it's the social embargo, but I'll know if that Han, Luke, and Leia reunion happens.
Yeah,
I'm just curious how it ranks for the Disney movies for you. It'll be fun if you say it's the best, because we'll be like, that tells us nothing.
Yes, exactly. It's the best of shit. It's the best of shit. So thanks again for having me. Appreciate you guys. And I'll go away now. So later.
See you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
Right,
awesome, man.
Good to see Chris.
How about some light relief here? You guys know that the Met Gala was on this week.
Oh, yeah.
All our favorite stars showed up looking like complete morons, and Rachel Zegler was amongst them, and she did not disappoint. I just love this footage here. Honestly, like she's spazzing out here. You want to see if I can.
She looks high. She looks like she's on something.
Yeah,
There was a thing.
Did you see the link I put in the chat? Have you seen the reimagining of this? This is the new version of this right here. This is an exclusive. So
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
this is the
Right, how can I show this? I'm gonna have to.
You want me to share my screen? You want me to share my screen?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, actually.
Okay. All right, here we go. So
See.
here we go. So
Let's see if we can edit here.
So you'll have to unshare your screen and then share
course,
mine. Here we go. Here's Ryan this morning.
That fell off.
I think he actually looks better than Rachel Zegler does.
I love
I'm genuinely curious. Like, what is she going for? Does she think it looks elegant or regal or something? Is she going for like a classic Hollywood pose? I really don't understand what she's going for. I get the blindfold. The blindfold is just, I'm a pretentious wanker at the gala. There you go. But the mouth thing, I don't get.
I'd like to imagine her publicist or whatever was like, okay, Rachel, this is your chance. Okay, you're at the Met Gala. There's gonna be loads of eyes on you. This is your chance to make a comeback.
But they
don't do anything
this.
retarded, and you're bringing it home. And then he sees this, and he's like,
"Why did no one tell her?" Because they probably rehearsed their red carpet moves right in front of their manager or their their designer. What do you call the person that dresses you?
But wardrobe designer,
stylist.
So a lot of them rehearse this with the stylist, especially like Rachel Zegler, who needs to make a comeback. Why did no one say to you, Rachel, stop doing that with your jaw?
Oh man,
yeah, wasn't Sarah Paulson doing something like this as well, where she had dollar bills like taped across her face because she was meant to be criticizing the 1%? Sarah Paulson, who's worth approximately $12 million by herself.
At a what is it, a $30,000 ticket event? The gala?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like,
and she's there talking about the 1%.
Get fucked. Like, I'm never ever gonna listen to some rich Hollywood celebrity lecturing me about the evils of capitalism.
Nope.
Fuck you. I'd rather take financial advice from Hassan Piker.
Yeah, I mean, that's
absolute assholes.
Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, it's good to see that Rachel's getting out and about and
it's
making
good that they let her out, you know. It's good that they let her out and they don't keep her indoors. It's important that people, because they're people too, you know.
They are theoretically, yeah, and they deserve some.
Exactly.
I mean,
they're very special.
Plenty of good range for like an extra in a zombie movie, though. Definitely, Korea's on the up and up with that.
Imagine her thinking that was going to help her career. And honestly, in Hollywood, it might actually. They may we've got to get her in all the movies now.
I think maybe she didn't remember that like video is a thing, and she just thought they were going to be taking stills of her. And it's like, well, if I just keep posing in the right way, it'll be fine.
I've seen comparisons. They show like other actresses trying to sort of do something with their jaw where they're doing it properly. I wouldn't begin to be able to explain the difference, but it is funny to see the comparisons. I think she was trying to look striking, but she doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so. And it's like you kind of know it when you see it work, but like when it goes wrong like this, yeah, it's like she was just trying it for the first time. Like she would probably, a normal person would do it in the mirror for a while so they get the right angle or something. And she's like, fuck it, I'll just wing it. I'll figure it out on the day.
Welcome to Hollywood.
But well done, Rachel. One of the other things that it was coming up, and that seems to be kind of a rumor doing the rounds this week, is once again to do with Star Wars. The theory seems to be And this was broken by geeks and gamers of all people. Like and I'm going to read from their
telling me for the first time. You're telling me this.
I know, it's crazy. Like, yeah, so I figured it was good to get you here for this one. Let me see if I can bring this up here. So
yeah, that tweet went mega viral. My goodness, the amount of people that responded to that tweet was wild.
I mean, it's kind of interesting, but let me bring it up here.
Well, it does. What ultimately you find out from this, like, because our tweet has like 25 million views. What this tells you is, regardless of how you feel about the rumor, people hate Disney Star Wars so fucking bad, and they are sick of it. The amount of traction that this got was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, well, it says here, the future of Star Wars may be heading towards a massive course correction, and if a new insider report is accurate, Disney could be preparing to split the Star Wars sequel trilogy off into its own isolated timeline and remove it from the mainline Star Wars storyline. According to a report from WDW Pro, a source close to Lucasfilm claims internal discussions are underway to branch off the Star Wars sequel trilogy to effectively remove it from the primary continuity and allow future storytelling to pivot back towards legacy characters from the original films. If true, this would be one of the most dramatic franchise shifts in Hollywood history. So it carries on. Basically, the theory is that they're going to use the World Between Worlds to essentially argue that the sequel trilogy is like existing in its own separate continuity, its own pocket universe, and so you don't have to consider it as part of the overall Star Wars narrative. I mean, really thinking about it, like, how likely do you see that being Disney doing something like this?
So, yeah, a lot of people were asking me about this because obviously I own the website, and they were like, what do you think? And I was like, I don't think it's true. And they're like, well, how could you allow this? And I was like, because I don't care. Like, I let people have their own opinions, and obviously WDW Pro has his sources. I don't grill people on that. We have an editorial process on the website. I don't think this is true, but I also don't think that it's gonna matter anyway. I think that the damage of Disney Star Wars is done. I think the magic is gone. I think you can't put the toothpaste back into the tube. So let's hypothetically say that they, in the most realistic way, let's say that they decanonize the sequel trilogy. Are you going to line up for the next Star Wars movie after 10 years of them shitting all over you and shitting all over this franchise? No, I'm not. I mean, so even if this was to happen in a hypothetical sense, I don't think that it helps Star Wars. The magic of Star Wars is gone, and it has been tainted by Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, and their treatment of not only their disdain of George Lucas's creation, but their disdain of the fan base that kept George Lucas's creations so relevant for 40 plus years. So it doesn't matter to me if it is true or it isn't true, but I just don't see Disney making this leap.
No, I agree. I did like this one. Disney spiked their canon. That is a good fucking reference right there. Oh, I respect that one for your Napoleonic War references there. But
yeah, no, I mean, I could see a situation where if they wanted to de-emphasize the sequels,
yes,
and
I mean, they
kind of
have, right?
Kind of they kind of already have.
They have with the theme parks, haven't they? Like they've pivoted back towards the OT
to an extent. So at Disneyland, they have brought the Disneyland is in California, Disney World is in Orlando. Disneyland, they brought like the OT characters out there, whereas at Disney World, I mean, the first time I went to Galaxy's Edge was with Gary, and we have that on video. And I think that the most recent time that I've been to Galaxy's Edge, which was a few weeks ago, was the first time I've been to Galaxy's Edge in years. It is awful. It is so bad. It's so boring. It feels like Iraq. It doesn't even feel like you're in a Star Wars land. And this is a place that has like, I'm not even attached to the Avatar movies really at all, but the land of Avatar at Disney World is fucking incredible. It's like unbelievable when you walk in there. Go to the Harry Potter world at Universal. It's unbelievable. The Star Wars land at Disney World and Disneyland does not speak Star Wars to you. They haven't even been playing the John Williams score when you go into there. So now the thing I think is going to be interesting with this theory from Pro with this rumor, what are they going to do with the Mandalorian movie? Are they going to make any references at all? You know what I mean? To anything that lines up with like the First Order or in the future? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like depending on how they're going to tease any of that. But yeah, it's a disaster. I just don't think that there's any saving Disney Star Wars in any realistic standpoint right now.
I do agree with what you're saying that I think you're just going to see a de-emphasis on the sequel trilogy and like a more of a focus narratively, whether it's the theme parks, whether it's like ongoing TV shows, movies, whatever, on that OT era, or maybe just after Return of the Jedi, that sort of era where it's still profitable, where there's still recognizable characters and there's still recognizable iconography, and just gradually like de-emphasize the sequel trilogy. I don't think they'll retcon it. I think that would be the biggest act of surrender that's imaginable, and it would effectively piss off everyone. Like it would piss off the people who for some reason just support the sequels, but it's not going to win back the people who they've alienated, who are fans of the OTs, because like you say, that damage has been done after a decade of shitting on the fans and, you know, trying to erase the original trilogy, trying to undo so much of what was achieved with them. You're not going to win those people back, I don't think.
I agree. Yeah, I just don't see it. But you know, time will tell. It will be interesting.
At every form of production, you get stopped on sequel shit. So, for example, right, if someone comes in to pitch an idea, it's like, I want to do a show about one character. It's like, okay, who? And the selection is all going to be OT characters, then prequel characters. Is it ever? Can you imagine someone being like, "I'd love to make a movie about Poe Dameron"? You're like, okay, why? And you're like, well, you know, to explore the character. Like, when? Like between the sequels, before the sequels, after the sequels, and again, it's already just like, well, who cares about any? Like, I don't know. Meanwhile, right, Count Dooku, he's like, yeah, and pick any time. Like,
yes,
I don't really mind. Just yeah, sure. Obviously, in the case that it was actually going to be good, not what we're
it's
dealing with currently.
That I think is the strength of the prequels, where like they introduced a lot of characters and a lot of settings and a lot of world building that existed on the potential of what it could be rather than the execution of what it actually was. But it was an interesting world. That was what they did well. And so that era of Star Wars is actually an interesting one to explore. The sequel trilogy is not, because it's a made-up plastic world with no depth to it, because there's no thought behind it. There was thought put into... Sorry.
Well, the other thing that Disney Star Wars failed completely to do was to establish any sort of visual identity, because there's a very clear visual difference between the OT and the prequel trilogies. The OT is more ragged. It's more clinical because the Empire has sort of made everything uniform. Whereas in the prequel trilogy, everything looks a bit more diverse, and it almost feels like the future from the OT, because it's the galaxy before it sort of fell to ruin. And it looks wealthier. There's different ship designs. It has its own sort of look that is separate. And that was a really big and important part of it. It's its own thing. Like, even if you don't like it, at least it was something new and original and fresh and different from the OT. Whereas Disney, it was just sort of Star Wars pastiche. They never really developed. The only thing that came close was Andor, I guess. Andor came a little bit close because it was able to get into the sort of grittier side of the early Empire. Outside of that, though, there was no identity whatsoever. There was nothing for people to sort of hold on to or to emotionally invest in, or to nothing jumped to mind. Like if I were to mention to you the Beatles, right? There's visual markers that jump into your mind when I say that. With Disney Star Wars, it's all just this kind of sludge of forgettable shite that is just imitating what came before and isn't trying to build anything new.
Yeah, no identity for themselves.
Yeah,
skinwalkers, that's all it is.
Well, you remember like the debate with even Darth Vader in Force Awakens? It's like his helmet is there. Why is that the case? And you find out it's like no real reason. Like, okay.
You recognize it.
What was the line from? Was it Maz Kanata, where she brought up like the lightsaber?
A good
or who's
question.
the girl? Who's the girl? Who's the girl? Is what it was. Who's the girl? And
Well, it's when Ray says, like, where the fuck did you get Luke Skywalker's lightsaber?
That's it.
And
Yeah,
like,
there was a couple
that's
of
a
things
good
with
question
Maz. Yeah,
for another day.
time. Yeah, for another day.
It's like, fuck off, JJ.
Yeah. God, man.
Well, so because it's something I remember from when I was doing the videos, but in the audio commentary, when you get to that Vader mask scene where the shot just slowly zooms on it, you can hear JJ in the commentary just being like, as soon as I saw this, I just knew it would work. Just like, it's like, yeah, that's crazy, man. That you relied on people just liking the other stuff and then not doing anything yourself. What
you
a
look
plan.
back on all of this and the amount of expectations that happened with The Force Awakens, and then you move into The Last Jedi. It's so crazy how quickly it all fell apart, man. It fell apart quick. Yeah. You were talking about a $2 billion movie, a movie that did almost $1 billion domestically in The Force Awakens, and then TLJ happened, and it eroded so quickly that The Rise of Skywalker, I know it did $1 billion, but that has to be the most quiet $1 billion movie I think we've seen.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like I don't know. It's like smoke without fire. Like, people went to see it, but there was absolutely no enthusiasm there, and like, if anything, it was just absolute disbelief. You know, the only thing that it was coasting on was just the momentum of Force Awakens. And we talk about now Star Wars being a dead franchise. Like, it effectively died with Rise of Skywalker. Like, the death blow was dealt with TLJ, but Rise of Skywalker was just the confirmation that it was done. Well, and so you took this franchise. What's that?
That was a TLJ and Solo, that 1-2 punch of like on both
pretty
ends.
much. But like,
and then
you know,
Rise of Skywalker was kind of the confirmation of it, because if you go back to Rise of Skywalker, it truly had no fan base, because it pissed off the people that were hoping to course correct to answer the questions of The Force Awakens. And then you had the TLJ fans, and both of those fan bases walked away disappointed, because Rise of Skywalker is a fucking terrible movie.
Do you,
so
do you remember?
This is the point I was going to make, though. Like, when you talk about how quickly it died in the space of 2 years.
Yeah.
Between 2017 when TLJ came out and 2019 when when Rise of Skywalker came out, that period is when Star Wars effectively died.
Yeah.
Obviously, spiritually, people would say it was 2012 that it died.
I have a question for the panel. After Mando and Grogu or Mango and Grok bombs, do Disney do a strategic overhaul of the franchise? Because, you know, Kathleen Kennedy's not there anymore. They've got a new CEO, and they don't have the emotional investment, and they won't be embarrassed to overhaul it. They don't have to admit defeat. So are we going to see that after this next one bombs?
What's the incentive to do it, though? But
I'd say they panic, but they're going to want to see the results of Starfighter first, right? Because once they get that, they can then
do anything. Like, that's
what I'm saying, is like they need to see the result. Let's say it does terrible. It's like, so we're just fucked, and we need to completely change goals. Or let's entertain for a second that it makes over $1 billion. They'd be like, whoa.
Okay, but then even if it does, right? Say it does crazy numbers and it does like $1 billion. What do you do with that? Like, is it really something you can build then a new trilogy of movies or a franchise around? It's a standalone thing that's got nothing to do with the rest.
Though. They would be like, sure, let me do another one.
Maybe they do a sequel, but that's all you're going to get. Like, you need franchise potential. And like with Marvel, with the MCU, you can see the incentive to reset, overhaul it, because that's got a proven track record of making a shit zillion dollars. It's done it like for decades.
I think you guys missing the point here. Clearly we have a plan here. There's going to be a Darth Maul movie come out next, because we need more Darth Maul. You're like, hey, let's just make a Darth Maul movie next. That'll cure all of our problems. Going back to, so let's look at this logically. What makes the most sense based on everything that we know right now is that the Mandalorian is probably going to underperform. And I don't mean, because I'm not willing to say it's going to flop, but I do believe underperforming. I think that we're looking at Solo numbers, and that is going to not be anything remotely close to what Lucasfilm wants. Now you have new leadership. You have Dave Filoni there. What's the other woman's name that's co in charge? I can't remember her name.
Some Welsh
Morpheus.
name.
Morpheus. But
I was going to say Morfydd Clark for some reason. It's like, no, that's that stupid bitch from Rings of Power.
But so we got new leadership, and you have to imagine that the panic is going to hit big time. And that is the interesting question. what can they do? I don't have an answer to that question. I don't know what they can do. They have nothing left.
I think they've moved way beyond panic. Now they're just at a stage of quiet despair. Like, I think they know that. That's why they're not really producing anything of note. Like, The Mandalorian and Grogu is just a natural offshoot of like, I guess the TV show's kind of successful for a while. Let's do a movie with that, just for something to go out into theaters. Last Starfighter, it's its own thing. So it's not tainted by all of the bullshit that we did with the sequel trilogy. So it's got a chance to stand on its own as just a generic sci-fi adventure that doesn't even need the Star Wars name really associated with it. That's something. But like, as far as, you know, a new trilogy of Star Wars movies, as far as continuing the legacy of the Skywalkers or anything like that, they've got nothing. There's nothing they can do that will work.
I kind of think you just answered your own question, though. The only option is to reboot the original trilogy. That's all they have. If they fail right here, like, what do they have?
It really is going back, like, DNA-wise, isn't it?
But then
back to formula.
Say they did that, right? That's like saying, I don't know, I'm going to go ahead and fight Muhammad Ali in his prime. You know, like, what fucking chance have you got? Like, you're not going to improve upon it.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's a good decision. I'm just saying, like, it's the only thing. Because we've seen them make decisions in the past that's hinted to that's what they've wanted to do all along.
If they did it and it flopped completely, I do think at that point they'd be like, guys, are we done? Are we done? Like, what have we done?
I think then they're just going to bring Robert Downey Jr. in and just give him $100 million at that point.
I've talked about this on a Real BBC a couple of times. It's like, how long do you think before they try that kind of crossover in this day and age? So first, the more likely one is something like a Marvel versus DC, but how long before Iron Man has to fight Vader?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's
Iron Man and Vader. That would be, honestly, I'd fucking go watch it. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, dude,
I'd watch the shit out of that. So.
I showed Drake. I don't know if you know about it, Jeremy, but that new show, that animated show, right? It's like the final episode. Out of the mist comes Vader again. It's just like,
no, I haven't watched it. I
saw someone like proudly posting like, this is Vader in every single property in the last like however many years. It's like, yeah. He's in everything. He's always there.
Jeez,
it's ridiculous,
man.
And it's funny to me because some people are like,
works.
I'm glad he didn't talk. And it's like, yeah, because they don't have James Earl Jones anymore. And they keep using the stupid AI voices.
Yep.
And it just diminishes everything about it. But it's amazing how we're still using Vader for everything Star Wars. And Filoni making that quote is like, you have to respect the characters and George's intentions. You got to be careful with how you use it. It's like, dude.
That's what Kathleen Kennedy said too. Like, it's
the
just
most
a lie.
key-jangling bullshit. You drag them into every project. And Vader's obviously going to turn up in Ahsoka season 2 for no reason at all. He'll be there.
Yeah. Probably get his ass beat as well. Let me do a few super chats before we move on here, gentlemen. First one, Mikey Gusler says, here's a 1983 fact for you. Kiss released their 11th studio album, Lick It Up, which marked them going unmasked, showing their real faces and ditching the makeup. It helped Kiss get back into the spotlight and generate new fans. That's a good fact. I like that fact, actually. Thank you. John Boyega refuses to watch Shogun because there's no black people in it. It surprised me, actually. What is going on with... Why is John Boyega so determined to like alienate everyone who supports him?
The only thing I know about John Boyega is when he makes victim narratives about himself. I don't know, what has he done since wasn't he in the Pacific Rim sequel?
Yes.
He was in The Woman King, which flopped.
I think it was Razor Fist said like John Boyega has got more fucking origin stories than the Joker at this point. Like he's angry at Disney, or he wants to work with them again, or he's mad that they minimized him in the Chinese posters, or he's mad that the original Star Wars trilogy because there was not enough black characters in it. There's just a million things that he's got grievances about, depending on what suits him that particular day. Like,
well, he's just a chippy wanker. He's a profoundly unpleasant guy. Every single interview I see him in, he's usually crying racism. Like, whatever's racist that week, that's what he's talking about.
Yep.
He's a wanker. He's just a horrible person. I mean, I'm not going to watch.
I think he's bitter because he's just never done anything. Really,
and here's the
Star
thing:
Wars.
I remember making this assessment back when Pacific Rim 2 came out, that I felt like John Boyega bought into this idea that he was the next big star, and then when Pacific Rim 2 came out and flopped hard, that's where you saw his animosity. And he started to lash out and bring this victim narrative into everything because he had built in his own mind. Because, I mean, to be fair, the dude got thrust into a Star Wars sequel trilogy, and the movie made it $2 billion. They went on a world tour. They were being celebrated all over the place. So that probably got into his head. And then all of a sudden, Pacific Rim crashes, and he just completely just lost it. So that was my theory back then.
I think it's true. And, you know, the others have gone on to bigger things, like Oscar Isaac obviously is thriving. Adam Driver is doing great. Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
But like, John Boyega's basically done fuck all, and like I can see why he's bitter about it. But it's like, come on, man, you can't blame racism for everything. Maybe you're just not a very good actor, and you've made bad career choices. And
he isn't a very good actor. He's not bad. He's just so mad. He's textbook mediocre.
Yeah.
The Zach Kreger sounds like Ryan Johnson. Take a beloved franchise and turn it into your own little pet project instead of respecting the lore. Yeah, I mean, Jeremy, I don't know. Like, are you a Resident Evil guy? I can never remember.
I love the games. I played 1 through 4, and I kind of gave up on 5. I've played a couple of the other later iterations. I've never liked the movies since the first one, so I've completely given up on the movies because none of them resemble the games that I played, the OG games. So I am checked out on the movies and the TV and all that.
So have you been following the trailers at all for like Zach Kreger's new Resident Evil movie?
I did watch this one, but I don't care about the movie itself. So I just don't. I have no faith. Like the OG Resident Evil 1 that was my introduction into Resident Evil. And then I still think Resident Evil 4 is one of the greatest games ever made. And then, but nothing has even been remotely close to any of those original games that I've seen anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like this commenter here is exactly right. This very much sounds like a project that Zach Kreger just wanted to make anyway, a horror movie that he wanted to make, and so he put the Resident Evil name on it to get it funded. And
we talked about that a little bit on G&G about how they're just kind of using the brand. You know,
it would be nice to be fucking honest about that for once in their lifetime, because you always have to do the thing of like, no, I love the original shit, I love the fan, I love the, but I wouldn't ever want to tell a story from those games because those games have already done it. They've done it so well.
It's so crazy that they have that mentality. It's insane to me.
It's just a lie, man.
It is a lie. I mean, we talked about like Michael right now. Michael Jackson's most famous entertainer of all time. Most people know you mean
Taylor Swift's not as popular as Michael Jackson? What? Fuck out of here, Jeremy.
And so most people know the high level, kind of idea of Michael Jackson's career, with the songs and the things he did. And all Michael is kind of a retelling of the highlights of his career. People love it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to cater to the fans and people will show up. It's not complicated.
Well, and that's the thing. I just wouldn't mind it as much if he was honest about that. If he was like, listen, I like Resident Evil, but I want to tell my own story and I think I can fit it in. Hopefully I don't piss you off too much with this. I'm going to try and avoid shitting on anything. You'd be like, okay. Versus, I love it so much, I don't want to adapt it.
This was always my problem, and I brought it up when we were talking about it on Geeks and Gamers, but this is my problem with Man of Steel. If you named it if it was about an alien coming to the world trying to fit in, it would have been a great movie. It's not a fucking Superman movie. That was always my problem. So shout out to my good friend Zack Snyder.
He said as well, his logic, if it were applied,
he doesn't support hate, Jeremy. So I just want you to know that.
his logic, if it were applied wholesale, like you just be like, Peter Jackson made a mistake in adapting Lord of the Rings because he should have just told his own story in that universe by the same.
Yes.
Yep.
And
exactly.
there's no way he'd agree with that. And then of course he'd be like, don't you want more people to find out about people like Leon and Chris and everything through different formats?
I know, man.
Mediums? And you can explore pieces that maybe the games couldn't, and vice versa. They offer different experiences.
I likened it to if they made a Tomb Raider movie and like it was a movie about a fucking delivery driver who at one point in the film by the end shows up to Croft Manor to deliver a parcel to Lara Croft and then just goes on his way. Like that might be a great movie in its own terms as a drama or something. But if you market it as a Tomb Raider film, I want to see Lara Croft raiding tombs, preferably jiggling around in a very skimpy top. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, you can't just hijack the name and expect people to get enthusiastic about it and expect them to not be pissed off when you don't give them any of the things you have actually marketed it on. It doesn't work like that, man. It's cheap.
You know what's so annoying too is that if this whole movie has nothing to do with Resident Evil, but right at the end he gets like a phone call and a guy on the other end just says like, you know, my name's Chris, and he'd be like, oh, and then it hits credits. Like a lot of fans would be like, yes, that was awesome, and you'd just be like, oh shit, like we're fucked.
Yeah, that would be like having a Star Wars movie and not really applying any of the stuff that people want to see until the end, and you pretend to hand Luke a lightsaber and then you end on that. That would get people excited, right? Oh wait, we already saw that, didn't we? And they didn't deliver at all.
Hey, it made $2 billion.
It did make $2 billion.
This one follows on, actually, from Mikey Guslow. You should be warned about the new Resident Evil film. Jay Longbone did a live stream on the leaked script, and it matches with the trailer. The main character is annoying and makes dumb decisions, and the story itself makes no sense. Yeah, I think Krieger said that. He was like, what if the main character was a useless retard? And like he's got to try and survive in this world with no training and no preparation, and he makes a lot of dumb decisions along the way. Like, I don't want to see that. Really? Call me crazy.
Hey, tested well, okay? Tested well. Tested great. So shut up.
Chris said two things perfectly. One, the death of Han Solo was a death of a villain. And two, not reuniting Han and Leia and Luke is a cinematic crime. I loved Star Wars, but I was totally out after Force Awakens. Thank you, fellas. Hail the 199. Fuck yeah. Agree with it all. To all the hosts, when you're all starting your concerns or stating your concerns for Star Wars, we were a minority and drowned out by accusations of prejudice. None of you gave up. Now people like me and many others are vindicated. From a U.S. Army veteran to all, I salute you. Thank you, man.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate that.
It is worth remembering when TLJ dropped a lot of what you would call the usual sort of like coverage for film from a lot of talking heads. It was like, no, I loved it. Yeah, good film. Yeah. And then you get like a few videos going. Obviously, this is where I got my start, but like myself, you know, Wolf, a couple of other channels just throwing out these rants of like, what a fucking pathetic film. And it was like, whoa, calm down. Like, it's not that bad. And then,
I was so nervous when I put my anti-TLJ video out because I had no idea, because I've talked about it a lot. But I mean, I've always defended Star Wars, defend the prequels, defend George, you know, like not liking a Star Wars movie. I mean, I was a fan of The Force Awakens, but not liking a Star Wars movie was just so foreign to me. It just doesn't make sense.
It was such a weird experience as well, because I don't know if you guys were somewhat similar, but like coming out of TLJ, I was like, that was strange. I'm not sure what's going on, because you're thinking about lots of different things. But then the more you think about it, like for me, it really made me realize how much I liked Luke Skywalker. I was kind of like, Star Wars is fun and chill, and I like it and enjoy it, and I'll watch every once in a while. And then it's like, oh, this is the new one. Yeah, let's see how well they do. Because Force Awakens, in retrospect, somehow was inoffensive to me. Not anymore. Like when you sort of inspect.
No, I was exactly the same. I
was all in on Force Awakens.
With Force Awakens, I was like, it wasn't amazing, but like, you know, it was a crowd pleasing movie, and it was fine. And I think it laid the groundwork for some interesting things that might happen.
It was fool's gold. It was fool's gold.
Yeah,
yeah. And so then it was a thing of like, started thinking about more of it, every scene, every character, all the decisions, and I was just like, oh shit, I'm angry. What's going on? Like, I'm actually really fucking upset right now. I'm just like, yeah. And then you put out a video, so that you find like loads of people say like, I feel the exact same way. It was like a weird phenomenon in 2017.
It really was. I mean, I went through the processes of like, you know, how I felt about TLJ and going through it. And I remember the first time leaving the theater, you know, I was telling my friends how much I enjoyed it, and then we just criticized it. And then, you know, but I was like, but I was a big fan of it. Yeah. And they're like, you just criticized it. Yeah, but it's Star Wars, dude. I love this movie. It's great. You know, and they're like, you just said everything bad about it, but then you ended saying you enjoyed it. And then going through it, just thinking about all the decisions, and then going back and understanding like all the buildup for Luke and how Luke was treated. It was a process. But when I put my video out, I don't remember, sometime in January of that year. Because when did it come out? December, right? Yeah, it came out December, late December. So when I put my video out in January, I had no idea. I think my video was titled "It's Time to Admit the Truth" or some shit like that about The Last Jedi, and but it really, what was making it worse for me, I said this and I stand by this. I don't mind a bad movie. What I mind is the executives and the people behind the movie telling the fans that they're the problem. That's really where the Disney stuff started to get muddy, because everybody was racist and sexist if they didn't like The Last Jedi. And I'm thinking, what the fuck are we talking about? I've been arguing with prequel people for years. I've never been called a racist or a sexist and vice versa over arguing over a movie. The discussion started to change of like, you're racist if you don't like this movie. What? Where did that come from? Yeah, where did that enter the equation?
TLJ was very much where the identity politics crept into Star Wars in a big way, because it wasn't really there with Force Awakens. What I'll say, I want to pick up on the point that you made there. That was the first time that I found the disparity between, or the sort of gaslighting that you get from the mainstream media, where you're being told, no, this movie is a masterpiece. It's bold. It reinvents Star Wars. It turns the mythology on its head. It recontextualizes characters like Luke Skywalker. You thought they were heroes. Maybe they weren't heroes after all. Maybe you need to re-examine everything that you assumed growing up. And you almost buy it, or I almost did. And then there was just this nagging feeling of like, no, this doesn't feel right. Like, this just feels like they did such a disservice to this character. And it led me to realize the thing that pisses me off, as you said there, I don't mind a bad movie if it's an original bad movie. If it's just some new thing that you dreamed up and it's not great. Whatever, fine. Some movies are good, some movies are bad. It doesn't offend me. But if you take the work of other people, right, you take something that was once great, made by previous generations of filmmakers and writers, and you shit on it, and you bastardize it, and you use it for your own shitty little pet project, and you trash it in the process, and then you have the temerity to insult the very people that supported it for so long, and that are now pointing out how shit this thing is. That's what pisses me off, because you're hijacking something that other people made, and you don't even have the good grace to acknowledge how shit of a filmmaker you are. That's what pisses me off.
Yep, agreed. And there was just a turning point, man. A turning point to so many things, and it opened up a lot of people's eyes. I've talked about it. I feel like we're just reminiscing of the old days now. But my very first moment,
the bitterness is still there, by the way.
my very first moment with all of this, I was at Star Wars Celebration in 2017. So this is before The Last Jedi came out. I was at Star Wars Celebration Orlando that year, and this was when they were going to reveal Battlefront 2, Battlefront 2017. And I was in the room, and there was, hundreds of people in this room. And I remember this girl gets up on stage, and she gets up and she's like, "Hello, everyone." Everyone's like, "Yeah," everybody's cheering. We're going to do the Battlefront 2 reveal. She goes, "How many girl gamers are here?" You heard like 2 girls. And I'm just going, what the fuck was that about? You know what I mean? Like, why would you ask a question of clearly 99% unattractive men standing in a room waiting for a fucking video game to be premiered? Why would you ask that question? And it just was weird to me. Then, of course, what happens in that reveal is that we get Iden, the main protagonist for Battlefront 2 in the story mode. And I'm just thinking, another female lead in Star Wars? And again, this is before The Last Jedi, so this is before all of, but at that moment, it just started hitting me like, why is every woman, like every lead is a woman in Star Wars now? Like you had Rey, like
why is there a suspicious number of women?
Suspicious number of women. Who was that said that, MauLer? Who was that? Y'all roasted.
That was no bullshit, but I just like the statement you accidentally said there. It was like, why is every woman?
Yeah. Why is though? So you had at that point, you had Rey, you had Jyn Erso, and now we have the third female main lead in a major Star Wars production. And I'm going to my, like, what the hell is happening right now? And of course, the rest is history. So,
yeah.
What is a woman? Why is a woman?
Why? On a slightly lighter note, I saw Mortal Kombat 2 today.
Oh,
and
I'm
it's
seeing it
really
tonight.
good. I had a lot
Really?
of fun with it.
Okay.
It's not a masterpiece or anything, but I had a lot of fun from start to finish with that one. I think
also
they
did.
Okay.
I think they understood the assignment and they executed it great. Yeah, how would I describe it? Like Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. He's kind of Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China in this movie. He's the protagonist, but almost not really. Felt like he does become a hero in the end, but it's a whole lot of fun to watch. And they got the tournament aspect of it perfectly. I think they've got some great fight scenes in there. I think most of the characters from the games are pretty well represented. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know how you guys felt.
Well, so how
ahead.
familiar are you with the games, Drinker? I don't actually know.
We're going way back to the 90s here. Like, I
That's
don't
where I'm
play the new Mortal Kombat so much. I'm
1
not
through 3.
boycotting them.
1 through 3
Yeah.
for me.
Dude, we're about to have
I'm-
a fucking Resident Evil moment again because I'm more of a fan of the middle era. I'm
God,
not
you're
into-
such a fucking newbie, MauLer. God,
No, but
stop
that's
being
the
so
funny
young.
thing. Like, I was hyper into like the second generation, right? The GameCube, so Deadly Alliance, Deception, Shaolin Monks, Armageddon.
I don't know what
like-
you're saying. These words
Yeah,
mean
yeah, yeah.
nothing to me.
But you know, I played like Mortal Kombat 9, X, fucking 11, whatever. Like, but I kind of lost interest. I did go back to MK 1 and 2, I think. But like the strength of Mortal Kombat is always it's just the fucking character designs, the fun you have with interactions of all kinds of elements and magical powers and shit. And then because no one's gonna be like, well, I love the plot. It's like, I mean, you know,
What plot?
it's been reset like 3 times. I think in the newest one they fight the God of Time or some shit. Like it gets a little bit weird, but no, I really the first one. It was like a big old mixed bag of like, it seems like you knew what you were doing sometimes, but then also you didn't have any fucking clue what you were doing.
This is 2021 movie.
The first attempt they did like
Was
a
that
couple years ago.
2021?
A couple of years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the shit tube the this movie is one of the more overt examples of we've listened, and I almost don't want to. I won't spoil anything.
Don't spoil it because it is a good time. And I had the exact same thought. There were 2 very specific criticisms I had of the first movie, and I thought, man, they shouldn't have had those. It was the main character Cole. Like, who the fuck wanted the Cole to be the main character?
Yeah.
Like I would have chosen fucking anybody else from the 90s MK roster. Just pick one.
Anyone. Yeah.
But then they go with this guy nobody's ever heard of. So that was a big mistake. And the other one was that they didn't actually have the tournament in the first one. They kept teasing it. They kept talking about it, but it never happened. And it sort of just ends. And it's like, well, where was the fucking tournament? That was very frustrating. So they fixed both of those issues in Mortal Kombat 2. And they really fucking fixed them emphatically. But
I'm happy to hear this. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it tonight. So
you will have fun. I fucking guarantee it.
I'm very happy to hear this. And again, the Hollywood
moments of violence in it as well, which is I appreciate.
Violence is wonderful.
They could have gone. They definitely could have gone further at times, but like I appreciated the bits that we got.
They're in a weird place because, and again, I'm just going to remain nice and spoiler free. The sort of fatalities or X-rays or hyper violence of the games struggles to make it in fully because they do want to be somewhat serious with some of their drama payoffs. So you can't have like exploding bodies and insane fucking kills while also trying to be like this is a tragic death of this character. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's almost like it gets hampered by its own ideals as like a Hollywood, drama story at certain points. They get to play every once in a while, and I fucking love it when they do. But for me, like the overall, it's not the film I want it to be. As big into all kinds of things that Mortal Kombat does. Is I feel like they're still restricted, but I had a smile on my face for plenty of moments in this movie, and there's one moment in particular. Again, I won't say what it is, but I was so fucking happy they made a particular decision, and it felt like the change of design for Sonic in the movie, the reaction to fans. They did something that felt like it was almost them looking at the screen and being like, "We got you. We know what you want."
Nice. That's awesome.
Like, oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, so like Hollywood Reporter, their review says Mortal Kombat 2 review, Carl Urban in a tacky sequel that's strictly for the fans.
Oh, fuck you, Hollywood
I know,
Reporter.
like, fuck those people, man. Like, seriously, because do you know what they hate about this movie? They hate the fact that it's not trying to deconstruct anything. They hate that the women are actually hot.
Yep.
Like Katana is smoking in this movie.
Yeah.
They hate that it's not shying away from like the brutality and the violence of it, and it's not trying to shove any fucking messages down your throat. It's just, if anything, it's too much of a story. Like another huge problem with the first one, and the first one was decent, a good movie. It was that it was trying too hard to be a sort of traditional dramatic story arc, and it's like, lad, I'm a Mortal Kombat fan. Like I remember as a kid playing in the 90s, one of the first games I played was Mortal Kombat 3 for the Super NES.
Yes. Yeah.
As like a 4-year-old playing these horrifyingly gory
ripping people's fucking spinal columns out and shit.
But whatever, like, and so when I go, I'm not really interested in some fucking soppy dramatic story. I just want to see people get their spines pulled out by Gore or something. Like that's really it. Dude, give me that. Give me really fucking awesome action fight scenes and good choreography and, in shape, ripped actors and fucking smoking hot actresses, and that's all I need. I don't need anything else. All right, it's not that hard to please a Mortal Kombat fan.
It's not, really, and like they definitely have like the hot actresses, and like they're wearing like the most impractical armor ever created.
It's exactly like fucking throw away any sort of filmmaking. Like, oh, we can't have that because I'm just like, if it's in the game, just bring it in. Fuck.
Yes.
Like Sonya Blade is fucking hot in it as well.
She is, man. Yeah.
She's in shape as well.
Oh, they're all in shape. Like there's one fight. I'm not going to say who matches up against who because I think that spoils a lot of the movie because you're wondering when you're watching the movie, who's she going to fight? Who's Sonya going to fight? Who's Jack's going to fight? And that's a part of the movie I don't want to spoil, but there's a Liu Kang fight, which I thought was the best fight in the movie. That was my favorite. Choreography and the fucking athleticism. Because at the minute, my next video is about feminist movies, so I'm watching a lot of girl boss movies, and I have to watch these fucking girl boss fight scenes, and they're terrible. It's like the worst of women's sports. These movies, because the actors are so slow and dumpy and stodgy, and the way they have to cut it, and they don't have any athleticism, and they don't have a martial arts background, so it looks fucking terrible on screen. But then the guy who plays Liu Kang, he has a fight, and it's so athletic. It's not just the way it's choreographed. It's not just the CGI. The actual actors involved in the fight are fucking ripped. They're athletic. They probably have training, martial arts training, and it looks fucking awesome. It's a great fight.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm glad you guys all liked it. So
they're not shy killing people off in this one either. Well, I say kill off, like it's kind of up in the air about how dead they are, but not everyone makes it to the end.
And as a form of temptation, because you could argue this is a spoiler, but I don't think so. When you watch the first movie, the one disappointment I had was like, you fucking killed Kano. He was like one of the most entertaining people. What are you doing? And it was like, they better bring him back. And it takes 5 minutes before they're like, Kano's back.
In fairness, this isn't somehow Palpatine returned. I don't think this is a spoiler. If you've watched the game, they use
Revenants.
Quan Chi, who is a necromancer. And by the way, his casting was perfect. I think they absolutely nailed Quan Chi in this because Quan Chi's a bit of a snake. He's not a guy who goes out there and is really aggressive. He's always tricking people in the background. He's really good. And I think
doesn't Kano call him like a bleached dildo or something?
Oh, that was really funny. Kano's really funny in this, and he looks perfect. The casting as well. Like they nailed every fucking character. It's just that's exactly it. It's like sometimes when you're watching, if you're a fan of something and you see like who the fuck wanted what's his name, Papa Appiapo or whatever he's called.
We do.
Papa
who the fuck wanted him for Severus Snape? You could have asked a million fans, nobody would have said, yeah, that's what I want Snape to look like. That's just very frustrating and annoying. But in this, every single character looks like they should look. Like Shao Kahn is amazing, perfect.
I didn't like Shao Kahn's voice though. He looks awesome. I wasn't a fan of the voice.
I mean, the costume and makeup as well is excellent.
But something they did that, again, there's so many little things that they were like, they listened. So in the first one, Scorpion, I think they have the actor's voice say like "Get over here," like that sort of thing. In this one, they bring back Ed Boon, so it's the actual original like
Nice.
"Get over here."
Yeah,
Like,
and
that's what you should have done the first time. For that.
And it's great because it sounds nothing like what he normally talks like, but no one fucking cares.
No one
Nah,
fucking cares.
nobody gives a fuck. Doesn't matter. I do. That was awesome. That was awesome. And Hiroyuki
There's a
Sanada,
great
man,
moment
he's so good with the fight choreography, even though he's old.
There's a great moment as well where a character betrays the antagonist by basically saying, "Yeah, I've seen the Outworld, and it's really fucking bleak, and it's just a bunch of stone and miserable people." And he's like, "I want fucking barbecue grills and like Jack and Coke, or just Jack." And threesomes and all that other stuff, and it's like, yeah, you're right. Earth
And that was
great.
perfect. That was the perfect character
dialogue
motivation. A great
great for the
character
whole movie.
motivation.
He's so much fun, and I'm very happy that they realized that from the first film, and were like, yeah, we need more of this guy. Like, just let him...
just be aware, like if you're on the fence about going to see it because video game adaptations are generally shite. You know, Resident Evil. I couldn't even bring myself to watch Mario Galaxy. The first one was so bad. So
I saw it 3 times for you, so it's all good.
Good. whatever
Why
the
do you hate yourself so much, Jeremy?
whatever the critics say, just fucking ignore it. Just ignore it. It's all bollocks. It's a really fun movie. It's a great time. It's just a fun, entertaining movie. You'll have a great time with it.
I'm going to give it a fucking drinker recommends just to piss them off.
You fucking should. You should.
Like, fuck it, why not? It's a modern day goddamn masterpiece.
What do you guys think is the best video game movie, real quick? I think it's Sonic 3, probably. I fucking love Sonic 3.
I think it's the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movie for the side boob moment.
That's pretty tough.
That wins a goddamn Oscar.
Yeah.
Like in all seriousness, fuck. It might be Sonic, you know?
The OG Mortal Kombat one was good back in the day.
That was
the original one.
Fun. That was a lot of fun.
But yeah, Sonic 3 was really good.
Have you ever seen the Doom adaptation with The Rock? It's one of those so bad it's good movies.
I never wanted to watch that shit. I actually liked Warcraft. I enjoyed Warcraft.
Warcraft is good. That was Paul Duncan. Duncan?
I think it was Paul Duncan. Yeah, I think
he's
Dungeons and Dragons.
No, it's Duncan. It's Duncan something else.
Duncan Jones.
Duncan Jones. I think Duncan's the first name of the director. Yeah. So
Duncan Jones. That was a really good movie. I remember seeing that in cinema, thinking,
I liked it.
That was much better than I thought it would be.
Yep. We are in the video game adaptation era for sure. So we'll see how quickly Hollywood fucks this all up.
It's interesting because I'm hoping that Mortal Kombat 2 succeeds, and I think it will. It's not that big a budget, and it looks amazing for its budget, by the way. So if that succeeds, and if Street Fighter succeeds, because Street Fighter is also coming out later in the year, it looks really good from the trailer.
I think Street Fighter looks amazing.
If they succeed and Supergirl bombs and Doomsday underperforms, this could be the final fucking last gasp of the superhero genre, and then video games just completely take over video game movies.
Yeah, and then they'll ruin all those in a couple of years.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, so that's pretty much expected.
So Mortal Kombat. I would recommend it. You don't necessarily need to be a fan of the games, but if you are, you'll definitely get a lot more out of it. But I think it's just a fun action, fighting movie. It's a fight tournament film. It's got lots of over-the-top violence. Lots of fun characters, lots of wacky, out there, outfits and costume design and production design as well. Like, they really embrace the otherworldly stuff from the games. And overall, I think it's a fun movie. I don't know. Would you guys consider it better than the previous film?
Yes,
I probably would. Yeah,
I mean, definitely better than one. One has serious problems. This one doesn't.
Yeah. So I think that's fair. When you were. I don't know why this came up, right? But when you guys were talking about video game adaptations and how you can just sometimes tell people to fuck off, it brought to mind for me for some reason Hideki Kamiya, who has worked on quite a few of the Resident Evil games over the years, and people were going at him because they were trying to claim that some of the characters from these games are gay icons, right? And he just, for some reason, he just does not give a fuck on social media, and he just said, "Idiot, disappear." Like, I don't know why, man. He just like absolutely does not give a shit. Just going in hard on people. Yeah. It's brutal, man. But like, yeah, I appreciated that. Anyway, yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, there was actually a super chat here about this, right here from Aruk Fire for $100. So thank you very much, man. You know what? I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that. There you go. Thank you. The Odyssey doesn't look great. Cosmo has this article. If Christopher Nolan were brave, the Odyssey would be gay. I think they will get their wish. It'll be gay. We think your video was an eye-opener with the feminist interpretation being adapted. Yes, this is something that I feel people aren't quite as aware of as they should be. So Christopher Nolan is a big fan of
Emily Wilson.
Of the Odyssey. Yes, by Emily Wilson, who is a hardcore intersectional feminist who set out specifically to reinterpret the Odyssey by doing the most loose possible interpretation of the translation from the original Greek to try and put as many feminist themes into it as possible. And that's the one that Nolan apparently used as his template for this movie. And I don't know, guys, like, I watched the trailer. I've seen both trailers now, and they are so goddamn bleak and washed out and depressing looking. And I don't get the sense of, you know, mythology and larger than life characters and the epicness that I would expect for something like the Odyssey.
It's getting tough to defend. So I, like everyone else with the second trailer, the dialogue is the thing that stood out to me more than anything. And I know everybody brought up the Pattinson line, but I thought the Tom Holland line was worse.
What's that? I'm waiting for my dad, or my dad will return.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
because go ahead.
Modern English.
Do what?
Nothing.
Well, that's another
Okay.
thing that Emily Wilson put into her interpretation. She replaced a lot of the original Greek words or idioms with modern translations because she said, well, you know, the original didn't sound ancient to the Greeks, and so why should it sound ancient to us? That's your artistic license coming in, though, and you're just putting your own shit in there.
Yeah, when Tom Holland talked about his dad, I was just waiting for like him to, you know, pull out his iPhone or something, or his, you know, like a Switch 2 to play. Like, it just felt weird, you know, like my dad will be here, I'll text him, whatever. It is the dialogue is bad. The moment where Odysseus is running and he says, "Let's go."
That part. I've watched that so many times. It's
come on, guys, let's go.
That's remarkably awful, I think.
Yeah, I was you know, bring Jason Momoa in, just go, my man. You know, like at this point, like, what are we doing? So the dialogue is incredibly concerning for sure. I do think visually there's a lot here, and I do think that like some of the practical effects are going to be fucking awesome to witness. I do think the practical effects are going to be cool. But yeah, it's getting tough to defend this, especially with the rumor of Elliot Page being Achilles.
That's what I've heard.
I'm starting to think that that's possible.
When you go from Brad Pitt to Elliot Page, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's
name a bigger downgrade.
I was just about to say if that is true, that has got to be possibly the biggest downgrade in cinema history.
To be fair, Nolan probably said, as a Nolan fan, I will say Nolan probably just said, you guys thought that Maggie Gyllenhaal was the worst casting. I'm going to one-up you right now. Not to mention, Lupita Nyong'o is rumored to be Helen of Troy.
Yes.
What the hell is happening, man? This is crazy.
Although, in fairness, I suspect they won't get much screen time because this isn't the battle, you know, of Troy. That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
It's the Odyssey, which happens after. So my guess is that it opens with the fall of Troy, and then there are little flashbacks to Helen of Troy and to Achilles.
Yep, I agree.
and then that's it. They're only in the movie for like a couple of minutes. So yeah, it's shit, but it's not gonna affect the movie. It won't be a big deal. And then it's gonna do.
It does have Zendaya in it as though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And then he's gonna do linear, non-linear would be my guess, because that's what Nolan does.
He said he's gonna do non-linear.
Yeah, so it's good, but he's gonna have two storylines. So he's gonna have the Odyssean epic, the actual Odysseus's journey to get back home, and then he's gonna obviously juxtapose that with the suitors trying to steal his throne, and court his wife. So those will be the two main ones, and then he'll cut between them just like he did with Oppenheimer. So it'll be present, which will be the suitors, and then it will be the past, which will be Odysseus traveling to his home. Something like that is what he's going to do. But yeah, you're right. It does look a bit too washed out. It looks a bit too dull, and the casting's just not quite right. The accents aren't quite right. There's a lot of small problems. There's a couple of big problems, and there's nothing that I would look at here and think, okay, that looks fucking awesome. It just makes me it just makes me nostalgic for
Troy.
The Brad Pitt movie.
For Troy, that's what I pointed out. Like, because when I was making my review of the trailer, right, I had to like dig up some footage from Troy, and I was just like looking through it, some of the battle scenes, some of the dialogue scenes, and I was like, holy fuck, this movie looks gorgeous. It's so vibrant, it's so colorful,
so well shot,
and it looks great. It was Wolfgang Peterson who did it, wasn't it?
That's actually a good question. I can't remember who did it.
I think it was Peterson. But it looks fantastic, and it's like Brad Pitt looks like a mythological figure come to life.
I talked about this back in the day, being the oldest person here on the panel, which I wish Gary was here so I didn't have to say that. But I remember when Troy came out, and Troy had a ton of fucking hate back in the day when it came out. People hated it because it wasn't historically accurate. It didn't have the gods. Laundry list of the history.
I remember that Brad Pitt was critical. Oh, what's Brad Pitt doing there with this long fucking blonde
exactly
hair?
Because
I remember that.
Yes, because Brad Pitt was only viewed as a pretty boy. He was not viewed as a badass. And Orlando Bloom, people hated Orlando Bloom being in the movie. Yeah, so there was a ton of hate
at the time.
That's
very. But with that said, I fucking love Troy. I've always loved the movie.
So I'm fucking great movie.
I love it.
Also, why are you like? Oh, I thought Gary was here. We're all alive when that came out.
I know, but
I love this. Like Jeremy being older than Drinker is disturbing to me.
I am. Nobody believes this,
so
but I am
old.
He makes a good point. People forget it was shit on a lot when it came out.
It was big time.
Yeah.
Oh god, there's so many things from back then where it's like perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But let's not deny though the Hector Achilles fight. Everyone fucking loved that shit.
One of the best fight scenes ever.
One of the best fight scenes ever. Yeah.
Superb. Bana and Pitt were on top form for that.
Really was, man. But so Achilles being Elliot Page is fucking wild. It's not confirmed, but I mentioned earlier, I want to circle back to this. I feel like I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan. Obviously, I think everybody knows that. I feel like Nolan may be at his George Lucas prequel era. And what I mean by that is that if you remember back when the prequels, when the Phantom Menace came out, George Lucas was a god among men, okay? Because he was returning to Star Wars. And before the movie came out, he was a god among men. No one was going to tell George Lucas anything. So that's why we get Jar Jar stepping in shit. And, and nobody's like, George, maybe we shouldn't do all of this. Nobody was telling him anything. I feel like Nolan coming off of Oppenheimer, he's now at peak power. Nobody's telling Nolan anything. No one's saying like, hey, Chris, X, Y, and Z. I just think there's nobody that's willing to talk to him to pull him back. And he is in his own success to a level where nobody can tell him anything. And he's making horrible decisions.
I think it's like, beware of false idols and all that. But like, there's always a deliberate decision behind everything that no one does. Like when it comes to like, okay, they're all talking with American accents. They're using modern idioms. Like that's not just random chance and it's not laziness. He made a decision in order to make this happen. But just because there was a conscious thought put into it doesn't mean it's a good one. And I think this might be an example of people are not going to be ready for this kind of interpretation of the Odyssey. And just nothing I'm seeing in these trailers makes me excited for it. It's so bleak, it's so washed out, it's so like trying to be grounded in reality. And I think he had the same problem with the Dark Knight trilogy. Like that's why that's the issue I have with that, where it doesn't feel like it's being lifted from the pages of a comic book. It feels like it's just taking place in modern day New York, and like it's so grounded. The Batmobile just looks like a regular old car. Batman just looks like a guy in a suit. He fights in broad daylight. All these things just compound together where you think, okay, this guy has his niche for sure. Sci-fi thrillers, like crazy out there, like, you know, concepts, great. That's where he excels. But doing the fantastical, like this, mythology, that sort of thing, I just don't think it's him. I don't think it suits him. And I think he's trying to fit a square peg into a round hole with this one.
Yeah, he also doesn't do, like, Nolan's not good with humor. If you look at his movies, they're it's not that they're unfunny, it's just that
you didn't like I'm not wearing hockey pads, really?
He's not good with humor, and he's not good with any kind of human connection.
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't. And the Odyssey, there is a lot of humor there. Probably not fucking feminist rendition of it, but because it's an old story, you know, that was told orally. It has to have humor to keep people entertained, and it's there. For example, it could be interpreted as I fucking know how Nolan's going to do this. Like when Odysseus, they're going past I hope I'm not confusing this with the Iliad. It's Odysseus is going past the sirens and he tells his men to plug their ears and to rope him to the mast. Is that the Odyssey?
Is this when they're on the boat?
I think it is. And because they're passing the sirens. And if the men hear the siren song, I'm
pretty sure. Yes,
they'll be seduced by them, and then they'll swim to the rocks and they'll die.
That is the Odyssey. Yes.
And Odysseus wants to hear the sirens, right? But he doesn't want to be killed, so he gets his men to rope him to the mast so he can't escape. And then when they've got their ears plugged, and he starts hearing the sirens, and he starts screaming in his head, "Let me off! Let me off! Let me go to the sirens!" Now that could be really funny, but I don't think that Nolan could make that funny.
The closest we get in this trailer is like that moment right at the end where it's like, I think we're clear. And then you just hear all the screaming and shit.
Yeah,
like,
that.
You know,
yeah.
And it's
I'll go on record and say I'm not giving up on this movie at all because it's Nolan. But the concerns are valid. But I didn't, as a Nolan fan, I didn't really care about the Oppenheimer trailers at all. I thought they were all very meh. I was not excited. Outside of being a Nolan fan, I was not excited to go watch Oppenheimer.
This wouldn't be the first time Nolan has made a terrible movie. You know, The Dark Knight Rises is...
I fucking love The Dark Knight Rises, and I will fucking
well,
die
you're
on
allowed
that
to be retarded once a year, Jeremy.
Hey,
so this
I will. You find me any data online that says people hate that movie. Go ahead.
Tenet was a dog shit movie.
Oh god, Tenet was awful. Tenet was, at least listen, The Dark Knight Rises had fucking... Bane doing his hilarious fucking, those one-liners were amazing. But
lovely voice.
I would defend Tenet if I liked it or understood it. But I don't like it.
Himself is saying like you're not supposed to understand Tenet.
I don't
Tenet
like.
Is atrocious.
I don't
it's not
like
even entertaining. It's
and I don't
boring.
understand it. And I will never just argue that. I don't like.
I'll give you your due, Jeremy. I would say on balance, Nolan has made more good movies than bad. I think that's fair. But when he's made bad ones, they have been.
Well, I mean, look, man, what are we talking about here? Memento, great movie. The Prestige, probably a perfect movie. You know, The Dark Knight.
Just orgasmed right now.
Yeah, The Dark Knight is an all-time masterpiece from a pop culture standpoint. I think Batman Begins is arguably just as good as The Dark Knight without Ledger's performance.
Here comes
Dark Knight Rises. Look at any piece of data online.
It's a piece
Everybody
of shit.
liked it.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. Bane's plan makes no fucking sense.
It is riddled with plot holes.
Stop being seduced by Christopher Nolan.
Nolan was burned out on Batman. Like, he didn't even want to make the movie, clearly.
I think The Dark Knight Rises is Christopher Nolan's worst movie that I understand. Meaning, because I can't qualify where Tenet falls into that, because I don't know if Tenet's a bad movie. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I do think that Dark Knight Rises is his worst movie. I do. I think Dunkirk is fine. I don't think it's great.
Yeah,
Dunkirk is fine.
It's good.
I think Oppenheimer's a fucking masterpiece.
Oppenheimer is his best.
And I've heard a rumor about this Interstellar movie, but I don't know anything about that one.
You fucking coward!
What I love about this fucking panel, I don't think it's impossible to reconcile our feelings on Nolan as totality, because I don't know if you caught it, but Despot said like, yeah, he's not so great with comedy, and Drinker just said like, yeah, well, you know, human connection. Like, oh shit. Well, I feel like if Nolan can't pull that off, which how agreed are we on this? Like, I do think Nolan's kind of bad with representing sort of humanity. He's not fantastic at it.
He is. Like,
well, again,
take the romance scenes in Oppenheimer, for example. That was like two fucking robots talking to each other, trying to approximate what they understand human behavior to be like. He doesn't get, he doesn't get like the spontaneity, the quirkiness, the randomness of human behavior, like how to represent two people in love or whatever it might be. I don't blame him for that. Like, he's a man of ideas.
I think you guys are in a fucking bubble if you don't think Interstellar has aged better than any movie in the past 10 years.
Why are you saying it aged? It came out, everyone loved it.
No, they didn't. I didn't hate it. They didn't hate it. They didn't hate it. But Interstellar has aged better than any movie in the past 10 years. And it's because of the human connection. It's because of the human connection in Interstellar, because of the father-daughter dynamic.
Because love is more powerful than black holes, gentlemen.
Or navigation.
That's not really the
or
point,
logic,
but
or technology.
but it is at its core. Interstellar is a father-daughter movie.
Well, it does something interesting with Matt Damon's character in Interstellar, where he kind of went mad from loneliness.
Correct.
That was pretty good. I did like that. And that's actually maybe my favorite character beat in that movie.
And Matthew McConaughey's Cooper is struggling with being a father who is trapped in a time that is about caretakers, and he's an explorer, and he's struggling with that. So that's a human element.
There's a ton of great stuff in Interstellar. I'm not going to deny that in the slightest.
Cinematography, soundtrack.
Well, I love this because somebody just said the theme of Interstellar is hate your son, he sucks. That is a fundamental misunderstanding that people that probably have never seen the movie. Okay, let's talk about.
It's not hate your son. It's hate stupid people.
Let's talk about the facts of Interstellar. Did he?
Gone down this.
Hang on, listen. Answer these questions for me. Did he go to the school and fight for his son to get a higher education? Yes or no? It's just a simple question.
Oh yeah, because that's before he realized that his son was just going to be a dumb farmer.
Doesn't matter. Yes or no question. Did he go to the school to fight for his son to have a higher education? Yes or no?
Yes, he did.
Did he leave his son the farm and the vehicle and leave him in charge? Yes or no?
I mean,
he did.
Yeah,
that's the fact. He did. He left him the farm. He literally told him that.
Because, hey, Jeremy, answer me this. I got a really good question.
Yeah.
Did Luke, yes or no, come and fight for the Resistance in TLJ?
Yes.
Did Luke, yes or no, come through for them and save them ultimately?
Well, I guess, but my argument is where does he hate his son in Interstellar? This is all built on people saying
he doesn't hate him.
Forgets about him.
No, he doesn't.
He abandons him. He's more like, you're a farmer, man. Like, I'm going to give you the farm. I'm going to fight to make sure you get that. And then it's like, you just be content with your little patch of dirt.
In the end of the movie, he doesn't ask about his daughter. He references himself and says Cooper Station is named after him. Then the doctor says it's not named after you, it's named after your daughter. If he would have said it's named after your son, the follow-up question would have been, is he still alive?
Jeremy, we got to organize a stream where you and I talk about this movie someday.
We absolutely can. We absolutely can. But we also, like, again, I asked the question, where does he hate his son? It's a simple question. People say he hates his son.
I don't think he hates him. I think he just recognizes, like, the daughter is the one who has the true potential. And so the son, I don't
She's
mind
the key to
too much
everything.
about him. Just leave him with his farm, and that's fine. Like, Murph is the one that I care about, ultimately. She's the next generation that I have to protect.
Well, that's a more accurate statement, yes. But
so yeah, he doesn't hate his son. He just like recognizes his limitations and just kind of is happy to let him do his own thing.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's just I think it gives you an interesting perspective on Nolan's perception of people and what the value of intelligence is and higher education is for people. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's listen, he is tackling right now. He is tackling the biggest project he's ever tackled with the Odyssey, and it's going to put him in some cross. Go ahead.
There it is.
There it is.
Wait, yeah. Let me play it. Let me play it.
Bringing it all.
Dude, I don't know if it's the old man waddle or if it's the way he's not like the focus of the shot or the fact that he's using dialogue that's so inappropriate. I don't know what it is that pisses my brain off more first. Jeremy, I'm curious, like if this turns out to be like a disaster, will it change your perception of Nolan at all?
No, dude, I still like Adam Sandler, even though he's made the worst movies on the planet because he made Happy Gilmore. Okay, so like you don't destroy yourself, or you don't destroy your previous great work in my eyes if you made great work. You know, like I think Kevin Smith's recent stuff is some of the worst shit I've ever seen, but I still love OG Kevin Smith. You know, and I'll never not love some of his stuff from back in the day, but I think Kevin Smith's more recent work has been some of the worst shit I've ever seen. So no, but I do think that you know, Nolan, like anybody else, like I think I was talking to Gary the other day. I was talking about this. We were talking about like this could be Nolan's big mistake. And I says, you know, for the wrestling fans in the chat, I said at one point in time, Vince McMahon, who created all the World Wrestling Federation and WWE, Vince McMahon wanted Stone Cold Steve Austin to be named Fang McFrost. So like, and so instead of Fang McFrost, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin, which was Steve Austin's decision. But if Vince had his way, Stone Cold Steve Austin would have never happened, and we would have got Fang McFrost. So my point being is that every single person, no matter how great they are always going to be making mistakes. And this is looking like, based on the marketing, based on the rumors, based on everything we've seen, this definitely looks like this could be a huge misstep for Nolan. With that said, I'll wait until I see the movie before I make that determination.
First of all,
I think that's
Frost would have gone hard as fuck. Okay. The funny thing is, people probably would have called him Fang ultimately, and it might have worked. I don't know, but
it would have been quite cool.
This, I guess, my question is less to do with like, would it change your perception of older stuff? More so, you know, like a Ridley Scott, like nobody's tracking him in the sense of like, can't wait for the next Ridley Scott movie because he's such a fucking amazing. It's like right now, like, but. Like, what do you think? How many bad movies in a row do you think it would take for you to go, like, I'm not paying attention to Nolan anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the more, I would have to make that determination based off of just how bad this is. You know, because if Helen of Troy is, in fact, Lupita Nyong'o, and she is, I know she's not in the Odyssey a lot. I know that, as you were saying earlier, but if she's in this a lot, and I don't mean a lot by the standard of the story, but if she's featured on screen for, you know, and she has all this dialogue, and then Elliot Page is Achilles, and Travis fucking Scott is in this movie, by the way. We haven't even talked about that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like nothing is lining up that shows that this is good. So it's really hard to determine. Like, I'm still going to be looking forward to the next Nolan project. If he's batting 85-90% for me, I'm taking the 85 and 90%. I'm not taking the 10%. You know what I mean? So
I think that's fair, and I think, like, to answer MauLer's question, you know, we're coming off the back of Oppenheimer, which I thought was an excellent movie.
I thought Oppenheimer was fantastic.
So, like, this is just a fucking disaster and it flops and like everyone hates it. It's like, okay, I'm not suddenly going to say Christopher Nolan is a hack and like I don't like him as a filmmaker anymore, because I think. I want to give him his due in that, like, he is capable of creating some genuinely fantastic movies and some genuinely great concepts, and we need that in Hollywood, you know. And so I wouldn't just say, well, now he's just persona non grata because of this.
You know who to compare it to, Drinker? Unfortunately, I think would be Edgar Wright. It was as of Running Man. It was like, I think he's done now. Nolan, on the other hand, for me, because this is what I was going to say about reconciling this. Like, for me, he's just consistently been a mixed bag of sometimes you'll make something I'm like, that's fucking amazing, and then sometimes I'll be like, what the hell are you doing? So getting another what the hell are you doing doesn't actually change my perception of him at all. I'll just be like, well, I'll see you next time. Hopefully it's a good one. Meanwhile, Edgar Wright, if we got 3 terrible things in a row of different kinds and flavors, I'd be like, oh shit, I think I think something's changed.
Yeah, I mean, since Interstellar, he hasn't made a movie that has blown me away since Interstellar, and that was in 2014. Except for, I would say Oppenheimer is great. Oppenheimer is a weird one because I think it's a phenomenal movie. It's not something I want to watch over and over again. You know what I mean?
But it's not that kind of movie. It's not like
correct.
Memento or something like that. So.
Right. Because like I guess Interstellar would be the last all-time great movie I would put for Nolan for me personally. Dunkirk was fine. What else has he made? So we've had Dunkirk since then. We've had Oppenheimer and we've had Tenet. You know, so his last 3 movies have been a very mixed bag for me.
I think he's one of the few directors working in Hollywood today, though, where I'm like, I'll pay attention to what movie he's making next. Jerome Eggers would probably be another one where it's like, oh, that guy genuinely produces a lot of interesting stuff. I'm always curious to see what he's going to do next. But yeah, that's one of the few directors where I actually am interested. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be great, but it's not going to like destroy my perception of Nolan. He's just a mixed bag. As MauLer said, like I feel like we rolled the fucking dice now with him over what kind of movie we're going to get. But hey, I'd rather take the chance than just get like generic, forgettable slop.
Yeah, did you mean who did you mean? You mean Robert Eggers?
Robert Eggers, sorry. What did I say? Jerome Eggers.
Yeah.
Why did I say that?
I saw the chat going. I didn't even hear you say it, but the
yeah,
chat
no, sorry, I had a brain fart there.
Chat's always going to call shit out. So
no, consider that a brain fart on my part.
Here's my question for you guys.
Robert Eggers.
Do you guys think that this movie has any chance at actually flopping? Like a lot of the internet is claiming it will.
Do you mean flopping financially or critically?
Financially.
What did it cost? I don't think it'll flop, no. Like outright flop, no.
I think it'll do fine financially. Probably.
Yeah, I think the interest is there.
Yep. I think so too. I think it's gonna be huge.
Because I said this like when I talked about this trailer, right? I think there's a gap now for like historical epics like this, you know, in the same vein as something like Troy or Gladiator or, you know, the Odyssey. We get it from time to time, like Hollywood kind of delves in and out of it over the past like couple of decades, but they've never really committed to it. And like I feel like, you know, that genre is ripe for like reinvention and like doing some interesting stuff. And so for that reason, I would love to see this succeed. I'd love to be, you know, for it to be really good and people appreciate it and like it makes a load of money and it spawns more movies like this that give you like classic heroic stories getting reimagined or, you know, re-explored. That'd be great. But it kind of hinges on this being good.
There's it's undeniable that there's a weird vibe surrounding this movie, regardless as to where like you can be as big a Nolan fan as me, or you can be critical of others, but there is definitely a weird vibe surrounding this movie. It yes. really is strange. I know the trailers have been very well received. I talked about that because they have been. All the trailers have been incredibly well received, even though the discussion around them has been divisive. But there's something that you can't really put your finger on as like, what is going on with this movie? Where are we at with this thing?
It's the casting. I think that's the thing that's rubbing people the wrong way, just in the same way that the Harry Potter casting is rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know, having a potentially like Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy, having Zendaya playing a Greek goddess, having Elliot Page playing Achilles potentially. That sort of thing, man, it just...
Do you know what it is, though? It's not
pisses
even...
people off.
I also don't even think it's as much a racial thing, because with something like it's Greek mythology, so ideally you would like everyone to be European, but okay, fair enough. You know, I mean, Homer, even when he was telling the story, he made his own alterations to make it more dramatic and all the rest of it. It's okay, fair enough. I think people could swallow race swaps. It's just like here and there, but it's just how wrong it is. Like Lupita Nyong'o as fucking Helen of Troy. Like if you're going to race swap, I don't know, make her some like stunning Chinese actress or something, someone who's actually like really beautiful. Now, and that's not to get laid into Lupita Nyong'o. I actually quite admire her because she was going to be cast in The Woman King, and then she did her research about the Dahomey and realized what a pack of bastards they were and refused to have anything to do with the movie. So I respect Lupita Nyong'o, and I think she's a great actress, but I don't think she is a Helen of Troy. I don't think she is a particularly beautiful woman, and I don't think that was the right decision. But as I said, I only think she's going to be in the movie for a minute or two, so I don't think it'll matter that much.
Yeah, I do see what you're saying there, but I do think that people are going to latch on to that if she's in it as Helen of Troy, and they're going to focus in. There's going to be a lot of discussion online about that, even if it won't have any real impact on the movie itself. It's just kind of what it symbolizes with all the other casting issues with this.
Well, you know, here's a controversial one as well, and I feel like maybe I agree with it a little bit. Matt Damon might be the wrong pick for this. For Odysseus, like I like Matt Damon, but like I feel like he's like the Ford pickup truck of actors. Like he just kind of gets the job done with no real fuss, and like it's not extravagant or anything, but he just gets the work done. But like when it's a epic adventure like this one, like the Odyssey, I feel like you need someone a bit larger than life, and that's not Matt Damon.
Let me send you a link, right? This is actors in their 50s. I want you to pick your Odysseus because I'm curious.
This is I'm actually interested to see this now. So,
right. So, do you want me to bring up the? In fact, I can share screen actually. So let me take this off.
This would be an interesting exercise to see who would be like the right Odysseus. So he needs to be white male actor in his 50s. Who's right? 40s is too young, I think, for Odysseus.
All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, Leo, Daniel Craig, Christian Bale.
Let's go.
Joaquin Phoenix. Oh Christ, Sam Rockwell. That'd be hilarious.
McConaughey, Murph.
Hugh Jackman.
Idris Elba. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do that.
Honestly, right now, Matt Damon is probably still my top choice based on
Fuck it. Let's put Dwayne Johnson in there.
Dwayne Johnson.
No, Jason Statham.
Brolin actually wouldn't have been bad.
I feel like
Brolin. I actually think Brolin would have been maybe perfect for this.
Yeah, I actually like Josh Brolin as that. But I think what we're learning here is Matt Damon, like Matt. I think you said it best, Drinker. He's like the Ford pickup truck. He's just there. He's get the job done. Like I don't think of Matt Damon as like a megastar. But he's always there in successful movies. You know what I mean?
Peter Dinklage.
Can we get Peter Dinklage?
Peter Dinklage. Jon Favreau.
Go back to the top here.
Jon Favreau.
No, we'd never have Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, I mean Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig. I don't know. I think Daniel Craig's got a bit of range.
No,
he's fucking miserable.
I hate Daniel Craig. But I know there's an argument for him just as an actor. Daniel Craig is the one actor that I can't stand. Like in anything.
Like
well, my top pick on that would be Josh.
Never
Brolin.
seen him.
I wonder if Christian Bale might be good in this.
Bale
would
fucking crush it. But you know, I mean, I don't even know where he's at physically, because depending on what role he's in, you know what I mean?
Bale can be wherever you want him to be.
Yeah, that is true.
Like Bale gain 500 pounds.
I'm glad you brought that list up though, because it does bring up, like, it's easy to just dismiss Matt Damon, because I'm not a huge Matt Damon guy myself, but when you look at the list of people that are available, he's going to be on a short list of.
He's top 5.
Yeah,
he is top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that.
So, people pointed out as well, like if they had done a sequel to Troy where they had Sean Bean playing Odysseus, like obviously as he did in Troy, it's like that could have been an interesting one because he was pretty good Odysseus actually. Yeah, could have been good. But yeah, man, like with this movie, fuck, I don't know. Like, I want to believe in Christopher Nolan, but he's making it difficult.
And that is fair. And again, all of the criticisms of it are fair. I try to have as perspective outside of my own as much as I can on a lot of this stuff. And so, you know, a lot of times we'll talk about a movie trailer that has been ratioed, like the Harry Potter trailer that got ratioed, you know, and all of these things, but it did get ratioed. The Odyssey trailer, both of them have a 95% like to dislike ratio. And they both have an enormous amount of views. Those are the facts. That doesn't mean anything outside of just it's the context for the discussion we're having. If we're going to talk about Harry Potter getting ratioed, if we're talking about Rings of Power getting ratioed, if we're going to talk about the Marvel trailers that get ratioed, the context is this one has an incredibly high like to dislike ratio, even though the discussion on Twitter is bad, because it is fucking bad on Twitter. It's fucking really bad on Twitter.
Well, that's the interesting thing. The level of engagement and interest in this is massive, right? Because I made my video about the trailer. thinking it wouldn't actually get that much interest because it's just a trailer reaction video. Ultimately, that's had 1 million views in the first day. Right, people are interested in this movie. They are interested in. They're engaged in what the discussion that's going on around it, and I think that's kind of surprising, actually, to this degree. But
well, do you guys agree? Well, like Gary said it, and I agree with this 100%. But Gary says Nolan's the biggest star in Hollywood right now. Like he's the biggest name. Like, does anybody else turn the needle like him?
When a Christopher Nolan movie comes out, people pay attention. And
like he's the biggest draw. Tom Cruise is the only guy you could say, but I mean, I think at this point in time, unless Tom Cruise is attached to a major franchise, it doesn't turn the needle. Christopher Nolan is the franchise.
Like
do you think he's the only brand director whereby he can sell a movie just by attaching his brand to it?
I think Tarantino. I think Tarantino can, but
yeah.
not on the level of Nolan. But Tarantino does sell based on his name alone and his brand. But it's a different level. Nolan's just on a whole different stratosphere.
Well, to reference what I said earlier, Robert Eggers, not Jerome, I think has that same kind of level of interest where it's like, this guy's doing really, different, interesting movies that play on a lot of the tropes of particularly like things like Nosferatu and stuff, and so like he generates quite a bit of interest himself, but not on the same level as Nolan, I don't think. So yeah, you're probably right. He's like the last kind of prestige director that's going to get
no pun intended
just by his name. Yeah, see,
that is your favorite movie, right, MauLer?
Which one now?
The Prestige.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Fucking
I do wonder.
No kidding.
I mean, I know
it is a perfect movie. It's a perfect movie.
I know Spielberg's really old now, but I do wonder when he lost that. Was it like around because Lincoln? It was still. I think he was still a brand director when Lincoln came out. Ready Player One was really bad, but at the same time, it was a fucking used toilet paper script, and I actually think he did as good a job as could be expected in terms of the direction from that fucking dreadful script.
The direction was fine. It was like Ron Howard style direction where it's like perfectly serviceable but nothing spectacular.
But there's nothing to work with. It's just such a dreadful fucking movie.
Yeah. It is interesting. When did Spielberg lose his aura? I mean, he still has it because he's Steven Spielberg, because he's the most celebrated director
but I mean,
he's
got
he doesn't have the tools anymore.
Yeah, like Disclosure Day. Like I'm actually looking forward to that, but I don't know how well it's going to do.
Yeah. I mean, his last one, he gave the word Rachel Zegler with West Side Story, which was apparently very good. I haven't seen it. I'm not into West Side Story, but
thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, but apparently that was a good
YouTuber,
movie. I did like the Fablemans. The Fablemans is a good movie.
The super chat came in and said Gary Busey is Odysseus. I want that right now. Like, give me Gary Busey. That would be amazing.
A fucking alien.
If Gary Busey's screaming "Let's go" as they're running, I'm buying that shit. I'm like, yes.
I do want to see Dwayne Johnson do that. Like just the "Let's go" scene. Bring Dwayne Johnson in for that.
Yeah. I think with Gary Busey now as well, like you wouldn't have to tell him he's acting. It's like, Gary, just be yourself.
Just tell him you're living the Odyssey right now, brother.
You are Odysseus.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, fucking let's go.
Method acting.
Do you ever remember when he was in Family Guy and it's like he's looking in the mirror at himself and he's like, "How am I doing, Gary Busey?" And he's like sees his reflection, he's got fucking snakes coming out of his head and shit, and it's like, "You're doing great." Okay, I'll keep it up.
Oh shit.
I want to live inside his head for the day just to see how it is. Tell you what. How about we answer some super chats before we finish up here in this open bar? Let me see if I can.
How much longer are you going? 'Cause I'm about to bounce. Go watch Mortal Kombat here soon. So about like 15 more minutes for me. So
that's probably about as long as we'll go. So I think we're pretty much good there. Yeah. Let me just make sure I haven't missed any here. Yeah,
you guys want Nerdrotic as Odysseus? I'm okay with that. Let's get Gary.
I would. Yeah, I think he's got the long beard and the gray hair and stuff.
It'd be awesome.
Do it. He's got the crazy old man arms as well. Like, I've seen Gary. Yeah. First up here is Wolf Predator says, MauLer, strength and honor.
Agreed.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Normal Man says, it's been 10 years and the sequels, are the sequels good yet? I was told that they'd be good by now.
Give it another year and TLJ will all be saying it's a masterpiece. Just one more year.
Just one more year. We're almost there. Master of Puppets says, ignoring the franchises they are part of, which are you more excited or looking forward to? Clayface or the latest Resident Evil movies? Despite everything, I like the Clayface trailer better. I'm probably, Clayface, I think.
Yeah, I mean, my excitement for the new Resident Evil is a 0 out of 10. Clayface, maybe, 2 out of 10.
That's about right. Yeah. That's about right.
Let's see. What's the next one here? Rogue Roach says, Drinker, I just wanted to congratulate you on how far you've come. I remember finding your channel because of the Resident Evil game reviews. Christ, that is a long time ago. That's before my channel even took off. Damn. So yeah, thank you for supporting me for so long and being part of this for such a long time. Eatman says, Mortal Kombat 95 in your top 3 video game films of all time. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
The Mortal Kombat movie from back in the 90s, that blazed the trail, man. We had the Mario Brothers movie. That was a fucking disaster. Then Mortal Kombat came in and says, don't worry, hold my beer. I've got this. And I liked it. Yeah, Patient Elijah says, hey, Drinker, I have a better name for your gaming channel. The Critical Drinker presses buttons. I mean, that's true. That is a thing that happens. And I do press buttons, but, it doesn't roll off the tongue exactly. LC Le Pen says, rest in peace, Ted Turner.
87 years old, I think.
Pretty old, yeah.
Yep.
Has anyone watched Wonder Man or Marvel Zombies animated? I'd love to know if it's worth our time.
I watched a couple of episodes of Wonder Man for a stream. I think I watched the first 3 episodes, and it's shit. It's not the worst thing Marvel's done, but it's completely forgettable. It's pointless. It's got this horrendous subplot involving government agents trying to recruit the actor who played fucking the terrorist in Iron Man 2, was it? Who am I thinking of? What's his name? He also played Gandhi.
The Mandarin, Ben
the
Kingsley.
Mandarin, yeah, Ben Kingsley. It's
yeah.
got they try to recruit Ben Kingsley to entrap Wonder Man or something. I'm not sure because I didn't watch the whole fucking thing. Basically, it's him, Ben Kingsley, and Wonder Man are struggling actors in Hollywood. That's kind of okay. They've got a decent bromance going on, but it's completely forgettable. I would call it almost like a slop-com. It's just sort of like a slop sitcom with a really shitty Marvel subplot thrown in. Just boring as fuck, totally forgettable and inoffensive. Like, it's not as bad as, I don't know, She-Hulk or just pick a random Marvel show. They're all terrible. But yeah, completely pointless.
That new Christopher Nolan film looks great. You really ought to see it. Oh, love that. In fact, fuck it. You deserve a round of applause for that. I like it. With the finale coming out to theaters, there's never been a better time to catch up on the amazing digital circus. You can find all 8 episodes of free on YouTube. Watch it, you coward. Also, hi, Rags. People talk highly of this. I don't know. Like, you guys know much about it?
Nope.
Okay, well, perfect. Let's move on. When they asked James Gunn, how does he plan to fix his DCU problems as it goes up in flames? I'll stay. I suggest you hit, sir. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be around for much longer. The prevailing wisdom seems to be after Man of Tomorrow, he's out. Because why would
I mean, I don't know if you've heard this one, MauLer, but I hated James Gunn's Superman so much that it made me not hate Man of Steel as much.
I understand that. This seems to be a thing that happens all the fucking time. Obviously, the big one was
we did a poll.
Yeah,
we did a poll where it was like fucking James Gunn's Superman.
Oh yeah, I was on that
James
stream.
Gunn,
I was on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like 90% in favor of Man of Steel. Like, that's crazy, man.
And by the way, you guys know who I blame for Man of Steel, don't you? Christopher Nolan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's responsible for that piece of shit movie. Like, he's the reason it got greenlit. He's the reason that it's the reason it got made. And he wasn't as involved in BVS as he was Man of Steel, but he was fully involved in Man of Steel. So he gets blamed for that.
Fuck you, Nolan.
He's never denounced me like the other guy that was involved in the movie, though.
Reno the Turk, when Drinker was talking about using a carrot for rectal itching, because I always talk about that, I thought Drinker and MauLer play Final Fantasy VII. My God. Hashtag bastard. No, we can't do that. Like, that's a game that takes about 90 hours to complete. So, no. Let's just get through Resident Evil in one piece, hopefully, and then we'll see where we're at after that.
Yeah.
The CGI in Mortal Kombat better be top notch. They had many extra months to perfect it, and I'll be disgusted if it looks the same as usual. I mean, it's fine for a movie of that budget. I think I wasn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't get your hopes up too high on the front of the CGI of all things.
Yeah, I mean, just relax and enjoy it for what it is. It's really fun, entertaining video game movie with those kind of just hyper reality fights. I don't think you should get too worried about the CGI.
All hail Cobra Commander Jeremy and King Trump. Oh wait, this is not DDayCobra. I know it's open bar. Be home soon. Cigar and whiskey to watch open bar on the big screen. Hail Drinker, MauLer, and Jeremy. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you,
Enjoy
brother.
the cigar.
Good to see you, Stormbreaker.
Bonnie Tyler in ICU. Hope she pulls through. Oh fuck! Really? Damn.
Really?
That's not good. Well, Drinker, I hope you and MauLer are happy with yourselves. I was playing Resident Evil 1 the other day, and I said out loud that I needed to find some herbs, and I pronounced it with an H. You too have become a bad influence, lol. Look, we're just trying to educate you inbred Americans about how you pronounce words, okay? The H is there for a reason. It's a herb. It's not an herb. God
Americans
damn it.
say herbs? I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
they do. Hey,
Wow, that's
hey,
strange.
hey, Jeremy.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
What are we saying? I was reading something.
So, say you went into a green medicinal thing that grows in a pot.
thing.
I say herbs.
All right.
God
There you
damn it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't say herbs. I say herbs.
Well,
But listen. To be fair, and I don't want to brag, but I'm from a really respectable place called Alabama, so we speak proper English. You know, so yeah, we're pretty respectable around here how we talk. So.
Last week's birthday bash was fun, Drinker, but can you party less hearty next year? I can only process so much alcohol in one evening. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty fucking drunk by the end of that one. I was drunk before I started, actually. I'd been out all night. I heard that Animal Farm was supposed to be all CGI. Why did Seth Rogen appear as himself? I see what he did there. Fuck Seth Rogen and fuck that shitty movie. Have any of you seen Scott Adkins in the Undisputed movies? It's a crime that he's not cast in Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
His name's been thrown around for a long time for those.
I think he's seen too much as a stuntman rather than, a leading man, which is a real shame because he is good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Hail Drinker, Mubushi, and Panel. What movie did you think has the best fight choreography ever? MauLer, what are your thoughts on the Raid movies? It's funny you should mention the Raid because the choreography in that's fucking...
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go. It's like, best choreography? Probably the Raid movies.
I haven't seen these movies in a long time, but back in the day, I loved the best of the best movies. I thought those movies were awesome. But I don't know if they've held up well or not. But I remember back in the day, I loved them.
The Matrix definitely had the most influential fight choreography of all time. Like
the
subway changed.
The subway fight is fucking brilliant.
It's amazing.
When you take away all the slow-mo like bullet time bullshit, and you have them just actually doing some really strong choreography in like that subway fight. That's fucking brilliant.
It's also the it's the production design and the sound design. That's something a lot of people forget about when it comes to fight choreography. The Matrix fight choreography, the sound design for that is fucking excellent.
Yeah, it matches the
very important
fight perfectly.
And the music, the fight choreography is important, but it has to match with the music and the sound design. And I think the Matrix did it the best, and it's why it's the most imitated type of fight choreography, even to this day. It's that kind of non-gravity fight choreography that became massively imitated afterward.
Let me just skip forward a little bit here. Yeah, super sticker here. Thank you. I appreciate that. BMC CB says, "Don't rush me, Jeremy." I'm not sure what that's a reference to, but okay.
There's so many fucking inside jokes from my streams. I can't even keep up with half of them anymore. So,
Chris, how was that hangover? Like, Chrissy's fucking appearance on the birthday stream last week was just legendary. Like, that's the drunkest I've ever seen anyone on open bar, including me. Yeah. All right, we did that one already as well, actually. Yeah. The sequel's not even making the top 10 most streamed Star Wars stuff on Disney Plus. Is so funny to me, but also sad.
agreed.
Well, I mean, it's what can you expect, man? Yeah. Say what you will about Plinkett's Force Awakens video. His comedy of errors reading of TLJ was spot on. Also high rags.
I think what I would really like from their channel is like just a commentary on like how their minds clearly would have changed on TFA, and because they seem slightly bitter about it whenever it comes up because of the fact that they advocated so hard for JJ. They really liked TFA, and since then have sort of like moved. Because if you remember, they like were borderline praiseworthy of the Acolyte, and they celebrated the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. It was insane. It was like
that is
these things
shocking.
are
They tried to praise the Acolyte on the basis that it did something different, and it's like, oh, fuck off.
Well,
It's
and
kind of like if you it's like asking your granddad to give his opinion on the latest iPhone. It's like you're going to get some very wildly skewed perspective from like a completely different generation, and that's what it feels like with Red Letter Media. Like they are guys that belong in that 2010 era.
I just feel
And
like they never quite got past the bread and butter, which was the prequels ruined Star Wars. It's like, guys, it obviously wasn't the prequels that ruined Star Wars. Like it's pretty clear at this point. And I feel like a similar test sort of came up with if someone said we made our bread and butter on how the sequels ruined Star Wars. And it's like, so then how did you handle like Andor coming out? And it's like, I think we're relatively fair and balanced with it, right? Like trying to comment on what it managed to pull off, but it didn't save anything. And then, you know, you move on with it. Whereas they just like I just remember a comment they had was like, you know, at least the Obi-Wan Kenobi show actually gave a meaningful arc to Obi-Wan compared to the prequels. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, like regardless of how you feel about the prequels, Star Wars is a very healthy franchise post prequels.
Yeah,
and I mean, incredibly healthy franchise.
The audiences were very happy to show up for Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
And it was well received. I remember I loved it. I actually loved all three prequels at the time because I was a wee kid. In fact, to this day, my record for seeing a movie at the cinema was Phantom Menace, which I saw 5 times. Awesome.
I
I
was okay with the Phantom Menace. Didn't really love it, but I liked it. It was fine. Attack of the Clones, I actually ended up thinking it was so much better than it really was because of the end when they're playing the music. I was like, this is awesome. And then, but it's really the worst of the 3 in my opinion. And I don't think that's even debatable. I think Attack of the Clones is really bad comparatively speaking. But Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie. I didn't say it's the best. I'm not saying it's the best. Empire's the best. But Revenge of the Sith is my favorite. So.
Just so it's not entirely shit on them, I still really enjoy their commentary on all kinds of movies. I just think they're kind of useless on Star Wars at this point.
Yeah.
Come out Reddit.
Do you think as well, like they're terrified to get into the mix on this because like it's so caught up in culture war and political stuff. Like they just won't go anywhere near that shit.
I think we got the definitive proof of that when they made fun of Star Wars theory for caring about the details of getting canon correct, and then simultaneously were like, oh yeah, I guess we do about Star Trek. So and it was just like, yeah, what are you doing? Remember the starving children in Africa comment? That was insane.
I was never a big Red Letter Media person, even back in the day. I wasn't a big fan of their channel, but I mean, they've always been there, you know.
I've always liked what they did back in the day, but I feel like as time goes on, I like them less.
Yeah.
You know, I like what they are now a lot less than what they once were 10 or 15 years ago. MauLer and Pano, would your ideal Batman film reuse previous villains or use ones that we've never seen before? I'd love a mix.
Well,
you got to have Joker if you're going to have Batman. So you want to focus in on that. I think Batman obviously has a huge gallery of villains that you can pull from, but it's just like the James Gunn's DC, you need to establish before you're going to start reaching into obscure stuff. You need to establish everything. So you need to use the big villains to introduce this new universe, if we're hypothetically saying, then you can reach beyond. In my opinion, that's how it would go.
I feel like everyone's gonna have a different answer for that in the sense of like what you personally, because like I really want a really good Scarecrow, like a whole movie where he gets to be the villain. Him in the Arkham games, just like, dude, get that in a movie. Fucking hell. Like,
best moment I've ever experienced in a video game, probably, because I truly, that first moment in Arkham Asylum, I really was like, am I
like the corridor that turns into the alley?
Yeah. And I'm like, I thought like it freaked me out. It literally did. I had no idea this was happening. And so I was like, what is going on right now? I'm feeling am I feeling dizzy? Am I seeing things correctly?
Dude, the potential is just off the fucking charts with what you could do with Scarecrow. And
yes,
you
obviously just want a villain
as well, but you don't get much of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just became like almost like a meme in the later movies. But yeah, like you want a villain that's going to test Batman on not just like a physical level, but like an intellectual or a spiritual level or an emotional level. And like, any villain that can do that is going to be interesting. And the Joker does that to a degree in every respect, because he's the exact opposite of everything Batman represents. And I think that's a fascinating thing to explore. It's a fascinating dynamic as characters. Whiskey Hunter says, kissing goodbye to my last day as 27, hoping 28 brings something good. Thanks for an awesome year of critical talking and drinking. Cheers, guys. It's awesome, man. I can't imagine what it's like to be that young again. Fuck. Just enjoy this time in your life, okay? Because it's not going to come back.
Yep.
I'd rather watch the Drunk Gore Strikes Back as a sequel to the Birthday Bash than the Mando Grogu thing. I don't blame you one bit. Next one. Learned that The Simpsons has begun phasing out couch gags, which got me thinking, if it's eroding this much, what would be the final straw to kill it?
I was interested, like, why the fuck are they still doing this? And the reason The Simpsons is still going is merchandising mobile games and the fact that it's actually just very cheap to make compared to, say, a live action TV show. So it's not going to go, and it's not just The Simpsons. People sort of blame The Simpsons. Well, The Simpsons has been going on forever. Not Futurama, I think it's on like 15 or 16 seasons now. Family Guy's been going forever. South Park's been going forever. There is a bunch of animated shows that have been going forever, and it's because it's such a simple business model, an easy business model to make money from. Merch, gaming, licensing, shitty mobile games, and the episodes are cheap to make, so you're not going to see the back of them.
And yet we only get 3 seasons of Smiling Friends.
Boom!
Crime. An answer to that question, though, I'd see a test to see if Simpsons can survive if it loses all of its main cast, because they're all getting pretty old now. If you lose Dan Castellaneta and Hank Azaria, I don't know what show fucking looks like.
That's like 90% of your characters gone there.
Yeah.
You could probably AI their voices at this point. Like, you've got so much to work with, but yeah, I don't want to see that.
How old is Harry Shearer? He's like, it's unbelievable. They got so lucky with that cast.
He's got to be
just lasting this long and committing to all those roles, because he's 82.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, as soon as they lose either one or two of those 3, I don't know if they have to start thinking about ending it.
This one I had to bring up just to finish because I think it's great. Hi, gents. It was I who invented mango and grok. Lovely.
I also love that Lutheran Thrawn.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
avatar.
you for your service, sir. It might have been your autocorrect just doing the heavy lifting, but I appreciate it anyway. I'm gonna finish up this glorious open bar right there, gents. But I want to say thank you, Despot and DDayCobra. Thank you guys for coming in for this, and
thanks for having
sticking
us.
with it till the end. Chris Gore, fuck that guy.
Man.
Fuck him, man.
He's too big of a deal, man. You know, he gets to see Disney shill.
Fancy premieres.
He's too fucking important for the rest of us.
Yeah. He's just sitting around talking bad about the fans right now. So,
but you guys stuck with us till the end, so I appreciate that. And like, obviously, as always, the links to everyone's channels are in the description. So if somehow you're not subscribed to these guys already, do it. Don't subscribe to Chris Gore though, because I'm going to take him out of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, and as we always do, the super chats that we didn't quite get to on the night, we will obviously, MauLer and I, answer all of them on last orders in the next couple of days. So thank you for that. And for now, at least, that's all we've got for today. So go away now.
Bye.